Good Monday evening, everyone. I'm not firing at 100%, so I do hope every single one of you bears with me. I've got two phenomenal guests, and one should be arriving. I was going to start this sort of sarcastically, in terms of the fact that thank God the season's over, but unfortunately, we're going to have to start it off, and we won't sit on it for too long, but we're going to have to start it off with a bit of a low for football, and I'm sure every single one of you in the chat watching at the minute knows what we're talking about. And it's just the absolute horrendous scenes that have happened at Liverpool and their fans just trying to celebrate a league title. And you've got some absolute so and so that decides that he's going to take the whole spotlight in his own hands and decide to try and hurt people, innocent people, by the way, in the crowd. Could have been young kids, could have been women, men. Who knows? The very fact is that this individual has decided that he was going to try and hurt people, not someone, a collective group of people, and we don't know, or I personally don't know the outcomes of it yet. How many is injured? There will be injured. There will be some injured, but I just wanted to sort of have a little chat around the panel and with you as a chat just before we move on to the Arsenal stuff, because this is no good, man. This just doesn't have a place in football society, in any society, in life in general, man. What we plan at? Why can't that lot down there at Liverpool just be buzzing, be happy, and celebrate what was a fantastic season for them? Every single person that has attended that parade, the only thing that they want to do, with whether they're on their own, whether they're with friends, family, whether they're with their children, all they want to do is just celebrate and be happy and be buzzing. And someone has decided to take something in their own hands and shed some awful light on that. Shane, man. Like I said, we won't spend loads and loads and loads of time on this. It's an Arsenal show, but we've got to pay our respects to. Hopefully there's no fatalities. Hopefully there's no serious injuries. But even an injury in itself is way too much in it, bro.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Look, it's the way of the world now, I suppose, isn't it? There's these lunatics that just want to make, everything about them, and they want to, take people's lives. I'm sure that was his intention, regardless of his intention. So we probably won't find out for a while. But I mean, it's just tragic, man. It's tragic. Like you said, Liverpool fans, they had the COVID year, where they couldn't celebrate, and now they have this, and they have some fucking swat come in and some animal, because he is an animal, come in and do that. And, like you said, he didn't know who he was hitting. Could have been women, children, could have been anybody, we don't know the damage. We don't know if people are going to be, injured for life, or even if there's any fatalities yet. I don't know. But I mean, regardless, just to be such an animal to think that it's okay to do something like that, to be so selfish to think that, I have a right to do this. There's never a time or a place or a period in anyone's life when they should be thinking, oh, do you know what I need to do is I need to go down there and I need to drive into a crowd of people. It just scumbags, man, scumbags. And I hope he gets due justice. I hope he gets put in prison with the rest of them, and I hope he gets put in prison with the normal prisoners, and he's not sort of separated, and he gets what's coming to him, because I'm not for pussyfooting around things like this. It needs to be justice, and it needs to be hard justice, and it needs to be fast. But look, prayers with the Liverpool fans. As people know from my streams, I'm far from a Liverpool fan, but I'm not a nasty person. Why on earth would you wish something like that? And I've been giving Liverpool their props for the last month or two, to saying they deserve the league, they deserve to win. They were the best team by a long shot. Now in the transfer window, they're moving like champions. They could be in the process of building a dynasty, which kills me to say that, but that's just on a lighter side. But this Liverpool fans are known as being one of the best fans in the world, one of the best fan bases in the world. They're only if they're having a good time, and some absolute animal has to show up and just just do something that's just beyond despicable. It's just terrific. It's horrendous. It's any superlative you can think of. That's what it is. And listen, prayers, like I said, with the Liverpool fans. Not just the people that were directly hit by it, the people around it. the people that were there and then had to run home. I know that Lauren was there and she was in Leash. She said they still had to cut the celebration or get back to the hotel because there could be a terrorist threat. You're not sure what's going on. Yeah. So, I mean, what was the happiest? Probably the happiest day in a lot of people's lives, man. Probably the happiest day in a lot of people's lives. They're absolutely obliterated by one moron, one lunatic. And I won't even give him. Actually, I won't even give him the privilege of being called a lunatic, because that's almost like excusing it that he had issues. He's just a piece of shit. Sorry, but that's all he is. And I hope he gets justice, and I hope that it's no more than cuts and bruises and a few broken bones at worst. You know, I hope that's the case, because it's just disgusting, and it'll always be remembered for this now. And that's that's the saddest things about it. It'll always be remembered for this fucking piece of shit, and you know, it's just. That's the way it is, unfortunately, with this world. There's people out there with these sort of tendencies, and there always will be. We just have to sort of rise above it, I suppose, and stand with the people that were hurt, and just not let these pricks win. Just not let them win, because if we do, that's giving up. If you give up, then they win. You just have to keep standing tall, and yeah, prayers to the Liverpool fans, and yeah, shocking thing to it, but we do have to get into it because it's big news, and yeah, listen. Honestly, I'll say it again. Last time, my prayers are with them. Honestly, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. No, 100%. Sorry, 100%. And yeah, you touched on something that I want to agree with before I bring Normski in. We're Arsenal fans, of course we are. All three of us are. All of you in the world class chat that we've got to my right are sorry. We are all Arsenal fans. But we are also football fans, man. And on days like this is where a collective comes together, man, because this is just not good enough. It's terrible. You know, a lot of us have relatives and etc. that are Liverpool fans that could have been there, may have been there. You know, that could have been anyone there. Someone had to be standing there in face of that geezer that was driving that car. Someone had to. Could have been someone, you know, may not have been, but it was someone. And the fact that it was someone is nowhere near good enough. And it's such a shame. Can I just echo something that you just said there, Shane? This will now be remembered for that. What a bloody shame that is. All they wanted to do was just lift the Premier League title. All they wanted to do as a collective, as Liverpool fans, one of the best fans on the planet. They just wanted to have a good time, family and friends, children, etc. And I'm sorry, it's that's got no place with me. It's disgraceful, disgusting, and trust me, that guy he will go to prison, and trust me, he will have a very, very, very bad time. I can promise you that. Normski, how do you feel about it, my friend? Before we move on,
mate.
Sorry, everyone.
So yeah, sorry. Big up to the panel, Shane, obviously Aaron, and to the obviously the chat. Yeah, football right now, you know, in this time that we're just experiencing takes a back seat. Rivalry takes a back seat. You know, and all rivalries are set aside. You know, banter, whatever you want to call it, is all set aside. You know, could be somebody's brother, somebody's sister, someone's child, someone's cousin, someone's grandfather. We can name all. And you know, coming back, I was out pretty much all day today, so I didn't even really get to see any news. I was obviously involved with some community work. We, you know, did a family day, International Family Day, and you know, when you look at it, celebrate International Family Day, there's going to be people out there that are hopefully, we're praying to God that you know, everybody is fine. There might be some broken bones, some bruises, that there's no fatalities. And we were celebrating International Family Day today, and we were sort of put a barbecue on for the kids and for the community and stuff like that. And then I come home, the phone's going off. I'm looking, I'm thinking, what's going on here? You know, I was expecting to see joyous people, Cajun, Liverpool fans going up. I've got friends that have gone up there. I FaceTime, one of the guys FaceTime me up there in the rain, and people absolutely enjoying this with his child. Another couple of my mates went up there. My missus was going to go up there. Yeah, my missus was going to go up there. You know what I mean? But obviously we had this engagement, so we couldn't attend. But my prayers, you know, go out to all the family that have been touched by this. You know, why a guy would think to do this is just beyond me. We live in a mad world, guys. You know what I mean? We live in a mad world. You know, you don't know what's going to happen. You step out your front door. Those guys today went up there to celebrate a fantastic victory for Liverpool this season. Now, all it's going to be remembered for is this incident. And you know, the horrible thing about this, guys, is that years down the road, just like they will chant things about the Man United, the Munich disaster, and all of that. They will do this, right? There'll be sick enough people to go and do that madness, yeah. Rather than saying, well, look, we feel sorry for these guys. They will be singing or chanting some madness. I hope that's not the case. You know what I mean? Liverpool deserve to go on and win this. They deserve to go up and spend the day enjoying this event, only to be marred by a guy that decides that he's going to ruin everybody's lives. And, as I say, along with the panel, our prayers do go out to them. And justice needs to come to the guy that's done it. You know what I mean? Justice has to come to him. And we'll just leave it in the hands. I'm a religious guy, so leave it in the hands of God. Whatever God decides, you know what I'm saying? You know me, guys. You know me already. But look, I'd say we could talk about this all night. But we just want to show our respects to everybody that was involved.
Yeah. No, facts, man. And to sort of wrap it up, brother. Apologies. I will explain why I'm so crappy and in another show, but I didn't want to overshadow this. Do you know what I mean? This is far more important. To summarize it, everyone, all of our hearts, do you know what I mean, go out of anyone that was touched and or affected, do you know what I mean, by that Liverpool thing. That's no good. That's not what we want to see. Trust me, I didn't want to see Liverpool parading happily, but I definitely didn't want to see that. I mean, come on, let's get it right. They was out there all to have a good time, and so they should have. It's been ruined by one absolute so-and-so. He will get his just desserts. Don't you worry about that in any way, shape, or form. He will. But big. Obviously, love goes out to them. But we will move on to some Arsenal stuff now. And what I wanted to start off with, because I've been away, obviously, I think a few of you sort of know, and I wanted to start with this. It's my girl, Chloe Kelly. So Arsenal ladies, of course, they absolutely smashed it, didn't they? And Chloe Kelly, she used to train with my cousin at Arsenal as kids for very, very, very many years. My aunt used to take them both training for years. And it's just quite a nice moment for obviously us as a friend of the family as she is, to see her lift in European glory. So I just wanted to say big up to Chloe, man. Do you know what I mean? It's an absolute fantastic moment for her. Listen, look, she's a European champion. We'll never sing that as the men, won't it? We'll never sing that. I didn't watch the game. I wasn't very well, but what I did watch was the highlights, and I watched them lifting their trophy, and what an absolute moment! What an absolute moment it was for Arsenal ladies. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit jealous. You know what I mean? That the men can't do it. But again, we see, just like in the international scene, the women are showing us how it's done, aren't they? The women are showing us how it's done. We can't get over the line, but these women can. Do you know what? Sack Arteta and get the women's manager right now, Shane.
Yep.
Innit? What do you reckon? They can get over the line.
Yeah. Listen, I said this, and with all seriousness, with my missus, because she said, we were watching the match together, and she said, "Oh, would you take Sleggers as manager?" And I said, "You know what? I would. I'd actually take her as manager over Arteta. You know what I mean? Because she's proven she's a winner. I don't care if she's a woman. I don't care. She made on pitch decisions, man. She sat back and she watched the game. She wasn't hopping around the sideline. She sat there with her legs crossed, watching the game. She had a game plan. Go in, hit them on the counter. Let's get it right. Some bookies had Arsenal at 9-1 to win just that match. Right, 9-1, man. That's a good Barcelona. Barcelona score an average of 4 goals a game. Barcelona were on for a 3-peat. Barcelona win everything. They're the Harlem Globetrotters of football. The second best team in world football in the women's is Lyon. and the third best team is Madrid, and Arsenal beat all three of them in the quarterfinal, semi-final, final. In both quarterfinal, semi-final, they lost the first leg. They grouped together. They came back. They won it. They won it in style. I loved watching them push it out wide, take a touch, cross it in. First time crosses, second time crosses. Proper football. At the very end, her name escaped. She got smacked into one shoulder. I think I saw a tooth come out, but she was bleeding. She's up 20 seconds later. Up 20 seconds later, man. Not a bother. Not a bother. When Williamson made a tackle near the end, Lee pointed this out, and it was something that I had wanted to point out. She made a tackle right at the end, slid in, got it out for a corner. Didn't start geeing up the crowd or celebrating. She just little fist pump to the keeper. That was it, man. None of the fucking theatrics of the men. They showed us how it should be done. They showed us how it should be done. And Josh Kroenke was there, and I'm glad he got to see that winners can come with the change of a manager, with new fresh ideas. Arsenal could have had more. Barcelona were quite restricted, actually, considering they're the best team in the world by a country mile. They were quite restricted. Arsenal had a game plan. 67 minutes gone, I think. She makes two changes, brings on two experienced players, and they both combine to get the goal 6 minutes later. Proper manager. Timed it perfectly. Everything was done. She changed formation twice in the match to suit the way the game was going. All things that Arteta doesn't do. All things that Arteta doesn't do. And then we figured out on, I think it was my stream that, or no, it was Lee's. We figured out that him and Carl figured out that Slaggers is on every 4 days. Arteta earns her yearly salary. Every 4 days he earns her yearly salary. Oh, wow. That guy's on 288 grand a week, man. 288 grand a week he's on, and she's on 150 grand a year. I'm not saying that with the women should get paid the same. I know that it's all about revenue and all that stuff, but I'm just saying that I'm using that point not to point out how much, how little she gets paid, how much he gets paid in comparison for the work he does. He does absolutely nothing. And we'll get into all the end of the season stuff and all that, and how much he's gone off the edge with his press conferences. I'm sure we'll cover everything, but it's just to point out that, you know, she's been in the job a few months, but she earned her stripes. She went and did this, I think it was the Swedish under-23s. Then she got 2 other jobs. Then she came in 2 other jobs at smaller teams. So then when she came to Arsenal, she didn't just get the job even after having 3 different jobs. She got the job as assistant, and she earned her way to the top, and she won them a Champions League. And as was pointed out before, when they lost the first leg to Madrid, Twitter exploded with sack the players, they're all shit, they're all this, they're all that. Where when we mess up and we go 101 years for the first time without a player reaching double figures in goals, nothing's really said about it. Yeah. Especially after I said I insist on not having a manager. But listen, big up to the ladies, man. They showed us how it was done. I was very proud of them, man. And I'm not going to sit here and claim that I've watched women's football my whole life. I haven't. I've openly admitted that before. I watched bits and pieces of it, and even then, not much. But I watched that final, and I was massively impressed. Massively impressed, man. That they did what the men can't do. They did what the men can't do, and they did it with more bollocks and with more class than the men as well. So big up to the ladies, man. They did us proud.
Yeah, no, buzzing. Yeah, and Dad's jumped in as well, because obviously it's his sister that took Chloe and Anna to Arsenal all the times, and he's saying Chloe and Anna lifted the under-16 European Cup together for Arsenal as well. Yeah, they did. That's fact. And big up to Chloe, man. I'm buzzing for her to score a winner and all. Do you know what I mean? She's done it for England as well. I mean, absolutely buzzing, Dad. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's wicked, and she's a good family. Good family friend. Normski, what do you reckon on it all, man? Do you know what I mean? The women showing us how it's done, man. Come on.
Absolutely.
Come on, man.
Absolute respect to them, getting over the odds against all odds. You're facing 3 of the best teams, Lyon, Real Madrid, and now you go and beat Barcelona in the final. That's how you do it. They get rid of their previous manager, Jonas, who, listen, things weren't going too well for him. And then, the owners or whoever acted and said, right, we need to go and get this lady in. They got her in, and within a year, what does she do? She picks up a Champions League. It can be done, guys. And she's shown the men's manager how to do it. Yeah. No. What? They're not in any phases. Yeah. This is phase win. Yeah. Not the dog. Phase win. Right. And I'm absolutely pleased. And just going back to what Shane said. I mean, I remember started watching the women's football back in. I think when they more or less when we moved to the Emirates, that's when I started watching the women's football on and off. You know what I mean? Because I used to be a Red member, and that used to show the women's football. And for some reason, I just started to get into. I thought, let's have it. There wasn't a lot of teams, and Arsenal back then were dominating. Do you know what I mean? We know they were dominating, and they went for a period where they dominated. And obviously, they won. I think that Champions League was it 2016. I think it was but they were like winning leagues and whatever. Then they fell off. It's like fell off. Chelsea and other like Man City have come in now. The money talks, and obviously they've overtaken them. But it's just absolutely fantastic that they've done this against all odds. Because when they had to come call back a 2-goal aggregate, go to Leon and do that and win that, and then you're thinking, right, you get to the final and it's just said 9-1 to win it. I thought the way Barcelona score goals, there's just no way. And I remember it coming up on my timeline on the YouTube timeline. And at that point, when I was watching it live, there was something like 190K people watching it live stream. And I thought, absolutely fantastic. And then today, they didn't do a parade. They did a trophy lift outside, ironic, the Armory. I'm sure once they finished the trophy lift, all the fans did go in the Armory and go and buy some shirts. You know what I mean? But it would have been nice for them to do a little parade and stuff like that. But look, big up to the women's team. They've shown us how to do it. And as you say, look, I know some people in the chat say, what are you talking about having her as a manager? Football's football principles. You get the principles right, basics of football. She does that right. And they've got over the line and they've got a Champions League trophy, something that Arsenal men have been striving for God knows how long. You know what I'm trying to say? So, Arteta needs to look at that. I mean, obviously you saw Josh Kroenke at the event and he must be thinking, right, bro, Berta looking at that thinking, well, come on. What we're saying here, you know what I mean? So next season we go again FC, and I know we're going to probably get into. I know we're probably going to get into who we're going to be looking at and who we're going to be buying and stuff like that. Looking at the season overall, basically average season, if that below average, some people might celebrate, beating Real Madrid. That's a trophy. Having the most points in a calendar year, that's another trophy. Beating all the top 6 teams, that's a trophy. No, go and win a proper trophy. Go and win some trophies. So next year, I'm expecting the net is closing in. It's closing in on Arteta, and the expectation now, regardless of your Arteta in or Arteta out, he has to win something. And I said it on Lee's stream, I think last night. I don't want to see no goalpost being moved. Yeah, when you play football. Where the goalposts normally? I mean, I remember you used to play football. I said it on Leeds. We used to carry the goalposts out. They're quite heavy. Yeah, you put them in where it's meant to be in that 18-yard box. Yeah, 2 sticks. Yeah, and the net. You do it the other end. I don't want to see them moving the goalposts at the corner flag. Yeah, because that's them to suit their narrative. Because every time you bring up some facts, they change the narrative. They move the goalposts to suit their to suit their narrative, and also to protect Mikel Arteta. I'll call him Teflon now because that's what he is. Nothing sticks. Actually, he can't do nothing wrong. And if you go against him, you know what I mean? You're some kind of alien. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? But listen, he has to fix up. The new season is coming, and I know we're going to get into that. And Big Bert is about, and he ain't messing about.
Yeah, no, it's facts. You know what? You tied me in nicely. You segued me in very well there to my regression FC, the final one of the season. But we will be back next season for 38 more. Hopefully not regression FCs. You know what I mean? Hopefully it's progression FC next year. Because if we are progressing, it will change, by the way. It will change. It will change. It's not just going to be regression if we're 5 points clear. We'll see how we're doing. But regression, this is it. Match day 38. Can you spot the progression? Now, the Yagals of the world will only hyper focus on the fact that we've lost 4 this season. We lost 5 last season and 6 the season before. They'll hyper focus on that, yeah. But forget that we are 20 wins against 28. Last season we're 8 wins down. 8 wins down from last season, 6 from the season before. We drew 14. Fuck me. Last season we drew. How many did we drew? We drew 11. Last season 5, and then the season before 6. The last 2 seasons we drew 11 games. We drew 14. 14 this season. Holy shit. The losses. Oh yeah, but we've only lost 4. That's what they'll say. We've only lost 4. The goal's 4. Look at this. This is shambles. Eat your heart out. 69. 91. That's 22 goals down from the previous season. And here we go. Was it 19 from the season before? That's averaging like 21 goals down from the previous 2 seasons. That is not good enough. But we don't need a striker. We definitely do not need a striker. Okay, maybe we do. Do you know why we do? Guess what? For people that are like, well, Manchester City won the league once, that one time without a striker, and Liverpool done it back in 2020 in the COVID season. That's what they all say. Okay, but when you look at the rest of the Premier League, Blackburn had Shearer and Sutton. Then you had Manchester United. They had Eric Cantona. They had Eric Cantona's up front. Oh yeah, and then you got to the Arsenals that had Dennis Bergkamp and Wright. Okay. Oh yeah, and then you had the Manchester United team in '99. So who did they have? Oh yeah, they had Dwight York and Andy Cole and Sheringham and Solskjaer. But don't worry, when Arsenal had won the league back, we had Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, Sylvain Wartord, and Nwankwo Kanu. But when Manchester United won it back, they had Ruud van Nistelrooy. Don't worry about it. And then Chelsea, they had Didier Drogba's. Almost like you need a striker to win the Premier League. Or Leicester had Jamie Vardy. Then Chelsea also had one striker called Costa, who used to terrorise us. Then Manchester City had Aguero. Then they had Negredo and Balotelli and Edin Dzeko.
Yeah.
Almost like you need a striker. Or then Manchester City had Haaland. What are we doing here? So you need a striker. You definitely need a striker if you've got 14 draws. Do you know the only reason why you get 14 draws is because you cannot fucking finish off a fucking game. That's the only reason you get 14 draws. Not because you've been down 14 times and you've managed to muscle your way back up to a draw. It's because you've not been good enough to kill the game off. That's why. Do you know how you also know I need a striker? Because you got 69 fucking goals. 69 goals and 14 draws. There ain't a telltale sign that we need a striker in this team. It's there. Goals against. Oh, well, 2 years ago, we got 43, so we've improved. Oh, yeah, but last year we had the best defence in the league, 29. Now we've conceded 5 more, so we're regressing in our defence. Okay. Oh, but maybe that's because of all the injuries. Why are all the injuries? Because of Mikel Arteta. Because he don't know how to rotate a squad. He don't know how to assemble a squad. Okay, what about the goal difference then? Let's have a little goosey at that. Oh, yeah, 10 down from 2 years ago. 62 we got last year. We're on 35. That's nearly half less. Half less, people. But don't worry about it. The points must be better. No, we're 10 down from 2 years ago and 15 down from last year. Oh, yeah, but they gauge progression and regression based on how many points you finish behind or in front of someone. Okay, 2 years ago was 5 points. 1 year ago was 2 points. And this year was fucking 10. Regression FC at its finest. He shoots. He scores. Home run straight out the park. Da-da-da-da-da-da. We have regressed massively this season. Anyone in the chat, if you're a moron and you want to argue it, have a look on the screen. You cannot argue it. Shane, what the fuck is these statistics saying, bruv? Because to me, this looks like quite a failure of biblical proportions this season. But we'll go again next season, though, wouldn't we, bro?
Oh yeah, because Mikel Arteta has a dream. He has a dream, and I was told that it's small margins, guys. Small margins, guys. 10 points is not a small margin, and let's get it fucking right. Liverpool got 2 points out of their last 4 games. If they had been playing for the league, they would have got 12 points out of their last 4 games. So the gap would have been much bigger. So when Arteta moves the goalposts and uses his narrative to say, "Oh, guys, they won the league on the same points that we got, guys." Yeah, 4 or 5 games ago they did. They got at what points you finished on, mate. So stop trying to fucking twist everybody's mind, because smart people can figure it out. The only problem is that about 90% of the population seem to be idiots. And I say that with all honesty, and I'm not being mean. They just seem to, not even that. Sorry, weak-minded is different to be. You can be smart and be weak-minded, but he seems to aim. He's able to target weak-minded people, like all cult leaders. They'll go into a room, they'll spout their shite. 3 or 4 of the room will buy it. 4 or 5 people will go, "You're an absolute idiot." He'll push them aside and he'll concentrate on the 3 that fall for it. And then he'll push them and then he'll do it again and again. And then end up having his cult. He's done that. They are cults. They are cult members. You can see Gal now. He looks defeated when he comes on streams. He looks defeated because he knows he's talking absolute nonsense. He knows he's talking drivel. And I've sort of dismissed that guy now all out because he doesn't know anything about football. But the more I go on streams with him, I go, he knows absolutely nothing about football. So his opinion means nothing to me anymore. If I was to sit down with yourself, Aaron, or Normski and have a chat about football, there's things that you would convince me otherwise on, you know, and because you know football and you make sense and you go, do you know what, actually, you're right, I was wrong. And vice versa. There'd be stuff where you'd have an opinion on something and I go, no, but if you think about it this way, you'd go, oh yeah, do you know what, you're right. But with that guy, there's nothing he can say that will ever convince me because he knows absolutely nothing. But he is just an example I'm using of the common fan that falls for this garbage that they spew. We just need a striker. That's the thing now. And now it's not even Arteta needs to get a striker. It's the board need to get him his striker. The board need to get him his striker. What about the 750 million blue? Why didn't he use any of that to get a striker? I'll tell you why. Because he made a fucking pact to win this league without a striker. And he'll do it until the day he gets pushed out of the club because he just wants to be proved right. He has no concern for this club. No concern. His only concern is being right. His only concern is holding that. I'd say he daydreams about it 24/7. I've pictured himself in the press conference after we won the league with no striker going, guys, I told you guys, you questioned me, guys. I can't get enthusiastic for any signing we're getting. None. I hear we're giving Trossard more money, but not an extension. If that's true, I'm absolutely mind-boggled by that. What's the point in that? Maybe it's not true, but that's what I heard. Now we're hearing that there's rumours that Gyökeres might stay at Sporting. And I hate to say I told you so, but I pointed out that if Chelsea, Liverpool, Barca, any of those big teams don't come in for him, we'd either be a last resort or he'll stay where he is. And I'm to the point now where if he comes to us, I'd actually lose respect for him because what self-respecting striker would want to work under this man? There isn't one. There isn't one that would want to work under this man. And don't be surprised if a lot of top players turn us down. Don't be surprised if a lot of top forward players turn us down in the summer because why would they want to come to us? Why would Wanyeri want to stay? Why would any self-respecting forward player with skill want to stay? Saka will have to start looking soon and going, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? My numbers could be double this if I was with an attacking team. So listen, these fans, I'm at the point now where I just know there's no talking to them. There is no talking to them because you can put it up there like you do every week, Aaron, and plain facts. Look at the regression. Look at it. And you said it, and I was going to say it, and then you said it, and I'm sure Normsy was thinking it. There's one stat on that they'll concentrate on, and they'll ride it till the wheels come off. Look at the losses. Look at the losses. And then they'll go, imagine we hadn't got injuries. Imagine we hadn't got injuries. And now I'm seeing loads of tweets from people going, our number 8 is back. Odegaard's back. Next season's going to be a movie. Next season's going to be this. Next season's going to be that. That goal he scored was his 20th shot on target in the whole season. 20 shots on target in the whole season. Chris Wood has 20 goals for Forest. Mbeumo has 20 goals for Brentford. He has hit the target 20 times. Just only 20 times. A top number 10 would hit the target 20 times in about 5 matches.
He's back.
In about 5 matches.
Though. He's back.
He's back though. Yeah. Oh, see what happens when his ankle heals. Yeah. See what unbelievable. Oh, he scored an injury time goal against a relegated team who were knackered. And he finally took a shot. Yeah, we should all be gassed now. We don't need. Look, Liverpool are getting Verts. What's it matter if they get Verts? We've got Odegaard. He's back. Back from what? He was never good anyway. But this is the thing. And you know what that goal did for Mikel Arteta? That stopped him breaking another record of the most points we've ever thrown away from winning positions. So he's only equaled it now. So at least he's got that. But don't get upset, guys, because he said in the press conference before the game, we're playing for a Golden Glove, guys. Don't forget we're playing for a Golden Glove. He said that in the press conference, like it's a trophy. It's an individual award. And he even had to share it with Matt Sells. But we got a Golden Glove, guys. And we broke the record for a 101-year record of never having a player get past 10 goals in the league. What a clown, man. What a clown. Small margins. We're the only club in the world that will put up with this. The only big club in the world that will put up with this. And he would have been sacked 2 or 3 years ago, anyone else.
Didn't it also break like another record? Because this is all they're clinging on to now. Didn't it also like break another record of like
last day of the season?
The 101-year record we could break on Sunday. It was. We have a proud record of finishing seasons with a flourish and have made a point of ending on a high by winning our final match over recent years. So much that we have won all of our last 13 games. And so, should we extend that win to 14, which we did, at the St. Mary's on Sunday, then we will break a record that stood consecutive in the top flight season for 101 years. Wow.
And you know, the last 6 of them, Aaron, the last 6 of them have meant absolutely nothing because we didn't win a league. They were all for nothing.
Yeah.
They were all for nothing.
Who cares? How mad is that? That's what they're peddling out now. Shane,
I saw that.
I'll come to Norms in a second. That's what they're peddling out now. All these little, trust me, the season hasn't been too bad because we broke a 101-year record because we somehow scraped a win, a late win through Martin Odegaard, our captain, who's been shit all fucking season. He scored in the bottom left-hand corner, the goalkeeper's right. The goalkeeper's left, sorry. Goalkeeper's left. Yeah. It's a broke 101-year record. Fantastic. See, it hasn't been a bad season. What a fucking crock of shit. Before 8 out of 10
season, according to Julian. Sorry to cut across you. 8 out of 10 season, apparently, according to Julian.
Yeah. It's an 8 out of 10. Before we do go into that, I want to get your thoughts on these damning stats. Normski.
Yeah, well,
damning stat. Bastard of a stat.
Didn't a certain channel say that our floor is their ceiling? They did say something like that, didn't they? Okay.
I think
so. How about we go back to 2022-23 season? Look at our points tally. Right?
Yeah.
84. What's Liverpool's points tally? And what have they done? Oh, well, exactly. What are they going to call it, guys? Floor, ceiling? What's it going to be? Yeah. What, with level? Is it going to be a ceiling floor? Is it going to be joined together? What's it? Are they coming like that? Have they done that? Look, guys, we have failed. We have failed. Arsenal yesterday, tweeted out 20th win. How about tweeting out 20th title like Liverpool? Yeah. Liverpool won their 20th title, and you're tweeting out, it can't get any worse than this. I think they must take us as some idiots, man. I'm sorry. They must do, because the stuff that they put out there is mind-blowing, guys. And that's why every now and again I have to visit. I got to go to the matrix. I've got to take the red pill, and I got to take the blue pill. Because I need to know what these guys are thinking, why they would tweet that out. But what it does, it gets into the subconscious, people. It gets into the subconscious of those guys that are Arteta mutants, man. Yeah, because it's like, oh my god, 20 wins, brilliant. Then they talk about the 101. Or how about the 101 record where 101 years or whatever it is, where nobody's got into double figures. Oh yeah, but we don't need a striker. Oh yeah, but Kai Havertz was injured, and his best tally is 13 goals. He is not a striker. Arteta didn't buy him as a striker. He bought him as a midfielder. That didn't work. And he thought, oh, well, let's try him up front to see what happens. And a little bit of a purple patch last season. And that's like, now he's going to be our man. And this is what's going to hold us back, guys. Yeah? Because the talk is that, and Shane might be right, it could be a case that Gokres stays at Sporting Lisbon.
Can I give you a stat when you finish, Norms? Can I give you a stat?
I mean, fair play. And we may end up getting Sesko. Guy's best tally is, I think, 13 goals and 8 assists. That's his best tally this season. I haven't got time for projects no more. Yeah, we need to get somebody that can hit the ground running and know where the back of the net is. Now, the problem is, I think it was on Dan Potts' channel, and I think Shane, he was on there. And Sophie asked Christian a question regarding the striker situation, and she was saying, well, if you go back to 22-23 or 23-24, whatever way you want to look at it, where we scored lots of goals, 91 goals we scored, goals for. And she was saying, well, if we didn't need a striker then, right? Because we're scoring, goals were coming from everywhere, yeah? So what is it then has changed this season? And it wasn't like Tristan wouldn't address it, because I'm sorry, I don't know why he's so fixated with Arteta. Whether the guy has a bad season or not, he just loves Arteta. Unfortunately, that is the case. You can see he says it. He's like, I don't care what happens. Even he does bad, I just love the guy. I love the way he manages the club. He's taken, we hear it all the time. He's taken us from 8th, from 8th, whatever. Well, you finished 8th twice. Did you forget about it? You finished 8th twice. Yeah, you bottled top 4, right? But you just, you brought great times back to. I ain't got time for great times. Great times is lifting a trophy. That's what it is for me. Yeah. So I don't hear all this rubbish. And the fact is that if we had a striker, right, and Shane keeps hitting the nail on the head, and every time, and he's convincing me now because he will ruin it. Gokras will not get the goals he needs to, because if Arteta continues to play the way he's playing now, yeah, the strikers will not perform in that system.
Yeah, be starved.
He'll be starved. Now, you go back to 22-23 season, yeah, and you look, yeah, we may have conceded goals, but we were scoring up goals. And as I said, we was on the brink of winning that league but what happened? PTSD kicked in, mentality kicked in, bottled an 8-point lead. We go into 23-24 season, blah, blah, blah. Yes, we finished only 2 points behind them. But again, it's all right giving us stats about us beating all the top 6 sides, but the sides that we really are meant to beat, like West Ham, Brighton, yeah, all those teams, yeah, we're meant to be beating them. Those are the ones at Aston Villa. It always seems to be the same teams that we fall at the hurdle with. And that's why we cannot get over the line. I don't care about top 6 and how many times you're beaten and how many thousands of days. It doesn't tell me nothing. It doesn't say at the end of it that you're going to get a title. Yeah? So those guys can live with all those stats. My thing is, at the start of the season, everybody starts on the same amount of points. They play each other twice. And at the end of the season, who has the most points lifts the trophy. That's it. That's the metrics. That is the metrics. And I don't know any other metrics. Yeah, there's no in between. It's very much black and white for me, as far as I'm concerned. Football is black and white. You either win or you don't.
Yep.
Can I lob this stat out there to you, Normsky, before I read this out by Joseph? And he was talking facts there as well, bruv. This is the first season Arsenal haven't had a goal scorer that's hit double figures ever.
101 years. 101 years.
Top goal scorer, that's fine. Followed by
what are we fucking doing here? We can't even get someone
101-year record.
Figures. But
he got asked about it once, Aaron. He got asked about it once.
What about the injuries?
Yeah. Well, yeah. We haven't had injuries in the last 101 years. You know
what about the injuries?
Come on. We had Chris Kwame and Hartson up front for one season, man. You know what I mean? Let's get it right. Let's get it right here, man. Let's not let them fucking trick us into this shit. He got asked the question once and he batted it away with injuries and other nonsense. This should be all over Sky Sports News. This should be everywhere.
Right.
Sorry, Aaron. No.
It's ridiculous.
You know what he does that? We're that close.
Yeah.
I just need to squeeze those drops out of them. Yeah. That's just drama. Just drama. Yeah. That's just drama. Dramatic. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that we all know we don't need a striker. Yeah. Because we've scored 22 goals less than the season before, and we've got 14 draws. That we definitely don't need a striker, especially considering 101 years we haven't got a goal scorer in the league that scored double figures. We do not need a striker. I don't want to see Arteta signing a striker. Sign another left back. Sign 2 more goalkeepers.
Yep.
That's what I want to see. 3 more left backs and 2 goalkeepers. That is what we need. Honestly, that is what we need. Mikel Arteta. We've got Super Mikel Arteta. He knows what we need. 3 left backs, 2 goalkeepers.
You know as well? Listen, when he signs his players, they better make sure they're injured. I don't want nobody coming in, injury free. They need to be injured. Yeah. Just
100%.
You're the man, California. Yeah, £42 million, and yet again you're missing. Fantastic. That's what we want. People.
Yeah. They had to have had a season-long ending injury as well in the last 2 years before they signed.
That's 100%. A guarantee as well. You need that.
Yeah.
Preferably an ACL.
Yeah, 100%.
But I just want to say something about that 23-24 season, and I often say this, right? When people say, "Oh yeah, look, we scored 91 goals," but let's remember that between it was in around the February period, we beat West Ham 6-0, beat Burnley 5-0, and a few days later we beat Sheffield United 6-0, right? And a few weeks before that we beat Palace 5-0. But then when you look at the other results, they're all close. We just had that period where we just blew a few relegation teams away with 5s and 6s. So if you add them up, they add up to about 25 to 30 of the goals in that period. So when you spread it out over the rest of the season, that's why it's deceiving. You know what I mean? It's not like we were doing 3-0, 3-2, 3-1, 3-0. You know what I mean? There was lots of 1-0s and 0-alls and little scrape victories. And then we just had that period where we blew teams away for a month. And let's get it right. They were Sheffield United, Burnley, West Ham. You know what I mean? They're not big teams that we were blowing away. And in and around that whole thing, we drew 0-0 with City when we had them on the ropes. When we had them on the ropes at the Etihad and we should have gone for the kill. And after the match, Rodri said, they're not winners. Why didn't they go for us? They had us. They're not winners. Yeah. And if we had beaten them, we'd win the league. But he chickened out and he went defensive. They were. It's like in a boxing match when you see one lad, he's just laying into him, or UFC and your man's all dazed. That's like him just saying, "Oh, you know, I'm going to step back now." We had them on the ropes in that game. They were done, and he PTSD'd, as Normsy says, about after 22, 23. But that's why that season's always deceiving to me. That little period when we just smashed a few teams, the results in and around it are all 2-1, 1-1, 1-0. You know, 2-1, 1-0. They're the ones in and around it. We weren't blowing teams away. Only that period, because I knew last season we were done. I knew from the start when we started really slowly against United, we started really slowly against City. Yes, we won the games, but we didn't look great at all. And I remember turning around to my missus going, "We're done this season," because they can see by the way they're playing. He has them just playing so defensively. And then this season got even worse this season. But if anyone thought we were going to win the league this season, after one game, you could see after the Brighton game, it was obvious.
Do you know what? This is what makes me laugh, and I will read Joe. I will read that super chat out in 2 seconds. It's what makes me laugh. Well, you get the fans, and they'll say like the Christians, sorry, the Christians. They'll be like, "Well, I thought the football has been good this season." That is when you get fans like that telling me that the football's been good this season. That's when I start closing up. Because like I'm all willing to listen to certain angles. I promise you, like it may not seem it sometimes, but I'm willing to listen to things. But when a football fan, a top gooner, is telling me that Arsenal's football has been good this season, nah. That's when all the alarm bells, all the red flags, all the bells and whistles, they're all going off. All the party poppers, every single noise is going off in my brain. This person has not got a fucking Scooby-Doo what they're on about. And we'll come to one of them in a second, but I will get this super chat from Joseph. Big up to you, bruv. And Joseph supporting everyone as he always does.
Without a doubt, man, legend.
Big up to you, Joseph Connor Golden, you superstar, bruv. Big up to Aaron, Shane, and Normsky, man. Come on, man. Yeah, like and subscribe. I'll get these. I've been a little bit behind. Give me 2 seconds. Remember, King Kai and the Handsome Prince will save the day. Remember, I always said King Kai. Oh, come on then. All right, we said King Kai. You know what we're doing on this show. Come on, man. Little donkey on a dusty road.
It genuinely looks like him. The donkey genuinely looks like him.
He will come and save the day. Don't worry, mate. Yeah, I can't do any better. So I'm really sorry as well. Actually, I'll make this out to everyone. I'm lagging so bad. I'm really not that great. I'm better than I was 2 days ago. Trust me. I wasn't well enough to do it. So apologies if I'm really shit today. But yeah. Just it is what it is. And we got my girl from the NYC. Come on, man. This club is just pure vibes. We will get to something like that. I've got something lined up for that. Funny enough, Madupe, my girl. Don't worry, we've got something a little bit lined up. This clown of a manager. We've got something lined up for that. In fact, you know what? I might even just spur off into it now because it's relevant and it's funny. Give us 2 seconds. Is this what we've got? Give me 2 seconds. I need to take Regression FC off. Bear with me, guys. Come on, man. Bear with me today. I'm so out of form. It's unbelievable. I'm not very well. Here we go. Good vibes, yeah. This is Mikel, yeah. You've probably all done this anyway, but I've just come back after a little 5 late. I'm injured. I'm another injury to the Arsenal season. I'm another injury, guys. Listen to this. Post-match interview, Mikel said, "I'm very happy. I don't know why. You finished 10 points behind the champions. I don't know why you're very happy. You struggled to beat the second worst team in Premier League history. You relied on your worst captain in Arsenal history to finally score outside the box to secure a 2-1 win away from the worst win in history. But don't worry, everyone. He is very happy. That's the main thing. He's happy. If that's his standard, there's no wonder he ain't fucking won anything in the last 5 years. You want to start your holidays in the next few days with a good feeling. And just what Madupe was saying, with a good vibe. It's all about them good vibes, isn't it? You want to start your holiday in the next few days with a good feeling and a good vibe. Do you seriously think that the whole 24-man squad, well, more like 17-man squad, are going to go on to their various holidays with their family or their friends, etc., and go, right, we've just done Southampton away 2-1. Let's fucking have it. Let's go some. Because they've just beat Southampton away 2-1. I do not think so. What is it? This sounds so gay. Seeing some smiley faces there, here, there, everywhere. It was important to win it. No, it weren't. Didn't change anything.
No,
it really didn't make a difference whatsoever. It was important as well to say goodbye to a few players who have left our football club. And thank you for that. Some of them, Kieran Tierney. We're going to go straight onto that very, very quickly next. Don't worry about that. It's been on the journey for 6 years of us. Georgino, we're trying to hug him. What is this all about? What is it?
It's nice.
What is that? What is that all about? Some of us, Kieran Tierney, he's been with us for 6 years, Kieran Tierney, but Jorginho, sorry.
What's he trying to say? Is he trying to say that we don't want to let him go? What are you saying here?
I think he means sort of, I think he's trying to be overly clever as he always is, and it's like a metaphorical hug by letting him play or something like, I know this guy, we're trying to hug him, you know. You never know with this guy.
Come on, please.
And maybe he thought it was another pickpocket and he pulled away. You know, maybe that was it.
Net and Raheem as well. Yeah, bollocks.
That's just right off. He just said that in passing, man. It's like,
possibly the two worst signings in our history.
Yeah.
They've got to be up there.
Neto's only save was about 20 yards outside his own box. And Raheem Sterling, I mean...
The less said about that guy, the better, man.
Yeah. No. Yeah. There's a few players that I had the duty to say thank you to.
I doubt you said anything like that to them, mate.
Yeah, innit. I think we all have to wish them the best for next season. But Kieran Tierney mentioned it yesterday. I'm going to score in my last game. And he's certainly done it. I mean, what are we actually doing?
That never happened.
150.
That never happened.
And that didn't happen. But like Madupe saying, there's pure vibes, though.
Yeah.
There's pure vibes, though, Madupe. There's pure vibes. But let's have a little look at one of the most cringiest. Let's segue quickly away to that. Let's have a look at one of the cringiest things you'll ever see in your entire life. Because we've gone from this, okay? We've gone from this. Yeah, you've all seen this.
This guy's a fucking clown.
And now we'll go to this. Egal. He's come back with a fucking bite. And this is a saying that I have said for many a time. Finished second 3 times in a row, but it was sandwiched between 2 double winning sides.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Pillock.
Why has he done the other side? Why has he done the other side?
I know. Of course he hasn't. This geezer, right? A gal. Arsenal have seen this story before. Yes, they have seen this story before. They were double winners in 1998 and guaranteed double winners in 2002. But this is their new narrative. This buys them a year. And this is why I wanted to bring this up. Because we're going to move on maybe to next year now, yeah? And the next season, the promise that is to come. This is the Top Gooners narrative right here. We've seen it now. This is why I wanted to bring it to 118 of you in the building that literally have to, look at my coffee ugly face today. It will be slightly less coffee and maybe-ish better looking a little bit. Apologies and bear with me. That's why we've got wonderful, good-looking, handsome Shane and the sexy Normski in the building to fucking kind of, you know what I mean? That's what we're doing here. Because we're now Arsenal, we are gay, yeah? We want a hug. That's what we want now. We want hugs. Listen, let's get back to a gal. Oh, sorry. I'm really sorry.
All right.
Now, this is the narrative, rather. I'm really sorry. Narrative for next season. Well, we've seen this before. 3 years. This buys them another year, people. Don't be fooled by this shit. Don't be fooled by this shit. Because what they're missing out, like what Shane just said, and I'll come to him and I'll let him roll with it. It's the season before we finished first. That was also in Arsene Wenger's first full season, by the way. First full season. And then he won it again in 2002. This was a bottle job of a 5th place instead of a double winning side. And do you really think that Mikel Arteta is going to win the fucking double next season, Shane?
No. You see, this is exactly that's the perfect example of what is wrong with the likes of Igal, that he conveniently left out the other side where we finished 5th, and where if you go down up then one, it's the double. Of course, he left that out. It's so Arteta. It's so Top Goonerish. It's so, it's just what they do. And the sad thing is that a lot of the pups that subscribe to him, because let's get it right, there's probably nobody over 16 that subscribes to that chap. And if they do, then they need to really go talk to someone. So they just won't even check into it. But we know, because we're Arsenal fans, we go, okay, where's the 97, 98 season? Because then it just completely, his whole ridiculous thing falls flat. Also, it just makes no sense, because it happened once, it's going to happen again. Let's compare the teams that went into Arsenal's 2001, 2002 season with the team that we're going to go into next season with. Why don't we do that? Why don't we watch some matches from that season and see if things were looking up? Why don't we check the summer and see that we signed Sol Campbell that summer? We signed one of the best defenders in world football at the time. No. Let's just put this up next to this one, because that makes sense. That's not even an argument. That's not even a statement. That's just a load of pictures put together. There is no meaning behind that whatsoever, besides him just trying to get traction and him trying to get likes. And this is my issue with him. This is my issue with him. It's my issue with that pink eye lad. It's my issue with Christian. It's my issue with all these lads that do this for all the wrong reasons. They don't care about the club in any way, shape, or form. Igal does not care about this club. Don't get it twisted. He's not an Arsenal fan in my eyes. He is not a fan. He knows nothing about them. He's a character. He's a cartoon. He's Barney the dinosaur. He's Barney the dinosaur masquerading as an Arsenal fan. Him and Gunnar should get together. I'm telling you, man, this is absolute nonsense. And these people are dangerous, man. He has 33,000 people that eat up his crap, and people giving him fucking. He's getting his platforms, and he's getting all this stuff to spout absolute nonsense. He knows you only have to listen to him for 5 minutes and know that he knows nothing about football. Absolutely nothing about football. He thought Van Persie came through our youth team. You know what I mean? That alone discredits you straight away with me. I'm not having an Arsenal discussion with you. You're discredited. You're gone. This means absolutely nothing. This is just a load of pictures put together, and then a load of pictures put at the bottom. And this is from a man who knows zero about football. Zero about football. I would sit down with a top gooner if he knew something about football, and I'd hear him out. With this guy, I'm not hearing him out, because he's not a football fan, and he's certainly not an Arsenal fan in my eyes. And I'm not one to say that to someone, oh, you're not a real fan, or you're not this, or you're not that. I use that very, very rarely. But to me, he's not an Arsenal fan. He is a content creator who happens to focus on Arsenal. Because I'm telling you, man, he does not feel it when we lose. He only wants us to win so he can. It's not even about us winning for him. It's about him getting in your face and saying, I told you so, and all that sort of nonsense. So with him, listen, we'll have a laugh about it and all that, but I nothing him. I just credit him straight away in my eyes. I'm done with him. I'm done with all of them. He was friendly fire with me at the start with him and the others. It's not now. My morning show was about taking them down a peg or two. Not that I have a massive audience, but we're growing all the time, man. We're growing all the time. And that will be my main aim. My only reason for doing this channel was to get out my frustrations about Arsenal, to talk to like-minded people, and to try and get in conversations with people that talk sense and try and push the facts about this club that they're in trouble. If it ever got to the point where I something happened with it, which it won't, but if it did, I would never change my views. Never ever change my views. Arsenal comes first, and whatever happens around that comes second. I could easily start doing thumbnails like him and Flowers. I saw one the other day where he said, Gyökeres deal done. Really? Where'd you hear that, mate? Because I haven't seen that anywhere. You got enough people clicking in, though, because it looked like the deal was actually done. So when you start playing that game with me, you're not a fan anymore. That's secondary with you. You're a content creator. So when he's putting up stuff like this, it's just another way for him to get traction. It's another way for him to clickbait or rage bait or whatever you want to call it. So listen, we'll laugh about it. It's funny because it's ridiculous, but I've just had it with these people, man. They're destroying my club, absolutely destroying my club, and I've had enough of it. But sorry to bring them out there. I know this is meant to be funny, but it winds me right up. Winds me right up, man.
Yeah. No. That's it. Well, listen, I don't mind mudding people when they put out absolutely retarded shit like this. I mean, what we doing here it's not clever, is it? Also, I've seen this story before. Yeah, but we guaranteed one and double either side of it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. What makes this is what I want to ask you, Normski, because we're obviously going to come into next season. What makes anyone think? But obviously, I'm asking you. What makes you think that we are going to be successful next season, given the last 5 years of history and evidence and factual based evidence and statistics that we are going to do something next season?
Well, essentially, history repeats itself, and this is what we've seen with this manager, time after time. By Cindy Lauper, by the way. But anyway, but what I'm saying, sorry, let me just let my son get past because I keep turning off the camera. I think he does it on purpose. I think he does it on purpose. But anyway, that's another story. But yeah, just getting back to this graphic that we have on your screen. What's the hourglass about, people? What's the hourglass about? This is what he does well. He's from the Mikel Arteta school of when it comes to PR and tapping into the psyche. Because when you look at that graphic, second, right? Yeah, he's gone back and picked out 3 events where we finished second, and first. So my expectation is then this is what you're saying. What he's done is put that hourglass there. It would have put him better if he just put a question mark there or whatever. But he's put the hourglass there because he said, give him time. Yeah, that's essentially what that is give him time. He might not necessarily do it next year. You know, you put a question, I'd put a question mark there rather than the hourglass. Because the hourglass is that kind of thing, time, you know, seeps away and everything and whatever. But I can guarantee you, yeah, that next season, Igal will still be Arteta in. Yeah, he will find some excuse, some narrative as to why they didn't do it. Yeah, because they, as Yasser said in the chat earlier on, that basically they put these things out that gives them hope. It's about hope and copism. This is what they do. They cannot deal with the fact that Arteta, they want him to get us over the line, yeah, and they're so much in love with this guy, infatuated by this guy. It's just like we can't see this guy. We don't want him to go. We don't want to see him getting sacked. He's not good enough. He's never been good enough. Yeah, from the offset, he's not good enough. And why they didn't give Unai Emery the chance? Yeah, but yet they would give Arteta the chance. You know, that's why they've got a banner in the stadium saying the best looking manager in the world.
What is that all about?
What's it all about, man? Come on, man. This is all zesty stuff that's going on.
What is that all about, bro?
Yeah?
Come on, man.
What are we here to do? Do you ever see that? Do you ever see that under Wenger? No. Yeah, it was about winning. We got to the point where Wenger turned around and said top 4 is like a trophy, and people got sucked into that. And after a while, it was like, come on. And I think the fact that he said top 4 is like a trophy, and then when we finish at the top 4, it's like, oh my gosh. And then obviously the fans were saying that it's time now. 20 odd years with Wenger, we need to move on, and it got toxic. And it will get toxic in this new season, especially with Berta there. It will get toxic. As I said, the net is closing on him. He will not, as you said, Aaron, he will not even do a double. Just like what happened in that 2001-2002 season, he won't do a double. There's no way. Because he chucks away cups. He doesn't take any of their cups seriously. Yeah? He's only won 2 games in FA Cup. 2. Yeah? You're losing again the worst Man United side, 10 man on United.
You know, they were against the teams, the mightiness of the teams, Oxford and Crystal Palace.
Right.
The only 2 teams he's beaten since he beaten Chelsea in the final in 2020.
Ridiculous. And look at how many people have won trophies since his. Look how many teams have gone to finals, and now we have it. Last week, what does Tottenham do? Yeah, they finished 17th and lift the Europa League title. Who's had the best?
Norms, bruv. Do you know what? Not only did Tottenham fuck my fucking mental state up, they've also their win coincided with my fucking illness, mate. Tottenham didn't just mess up top; they fucked my immune system up. Honestly, that's what they've done. They've attacked me everywhere, Tottenham, mate. Mate, I had Tottenham fans, and I'm glad I was too ill to actually talk about it, so I've just got away with it, thank God. I had two fans that were in Bilbao that I've known since I was about 5, ringing me every like 5-10 minutes till about 3 o'clock in the morning, and then in the morning the next day just terrorizing me. I got absolutely terrorized after that. And that's what Arsenal's done to us. And in fact, I'll just make this point before I bring Lawrence in. It ain't just all about the second, the first, and all of this nonsense. Arsenal's season was an absolute shower of shit in its own isolation. But Tottenham's season made it fucking so much worse. So much worse. And then the women go, and I'm buzzing for the women, of course. The women go and defy the odds. And they come back from a Leon team and get into the final of the best team on the planet and go and fucking beat them 1-0. They didn't beat them on penalties. They didn't beat them 3-2, sorry, 4-3 or whatever. They beat them 1-0. But what about the men? What's the excuses for the men? This can't happen. You know, it is what it is. Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that. Even the fucking ladies can sing that. Right. Even the ladies can sing that. Even Spurs are gonna fucking sing that. West Ham have sang that. Come on, man. Lawrence, how are you doing, my friend? I don't know if you've been listening to how the show's being run. But currently at the minute, apologies, we are talking about the bell end on screen to the right. Pig Owl. What are we saying?
Yeah.
Are you impressed with his nice little graphic?
First of all, I apologise for not coming on at the beginning. I've just woke up. I've taken advantage of the holiday weekend out here by having a little nap. Turned out to be a 9-month nightmare called Arsenal's 2024-25 season. Glad to see you're back, Aaron, with us. Hope everything's okay. Yeah. I'm just words fail me. Words fail me because what you and the others have said is exactly how I feel myself. You know, this clown has still got a job after 5 years, yet the manager of the women's team gets fired because they weren't playing well. They bring in a woman to replace him who's only been in charge for 6 months. And what has she done? She's got us the Women's Champions League. How can this clown show his face after that? He must be so fucking embarrassed. I mean, this season has been a total write-off. And as you said, to add the cherry on the cake, those scum from the other end of the Seven Sisters Road, who in any other season would have probably been relegated with the number of points they've got, go out and win a fucking European trophy.
Yeah.
And yet we've still got these ostriches in our fan base who think he's the greatest manager since sliced bread. And is telling me and everyone else, oh, it's going to be different next year. We've got to give him 1 more year. How many more fucking 1 more years do we give this fucking clown a chance before everyone is on the same page and realise he cannot get us over the line?
Yeah, facts, mate. Facts, mate.
On, I mean, I've had to cheer myself up over the weekend by watching 1989 all over again. Well, we had a team that actually fought and battled and won things. When people write us off, we don't fucking bother it like this lot do every season.
Yeah. Nah, facts. It's frustrating, bruv. It's frustrating, mate. Isn't it? But what we doing here?
It's rinse and repeat every fucking single season. Let's give him another one. Let's give him another year, right? And what happens? The same thing happens. Summer transfer window comes along. Doesn't bring in enough cover for the team. We get off to an average start, and then we start losing to shit like Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, and co. Right, and then afterwards it's a total car wreck.
Yeah. Oh, mate, it's ridiculous. Like the thing is, as well, is whilst Mug's like a gal, and he is a mug. I mean, everyone always says he's a nice geezer. I'm sorry, from what I've seen of him, I couldn't give a toss. Like I'm presented with the gal that I see on stream, and the person that I see on stream is a fucking helmet. Like he just is. He ain't got a clue about football. He ain't got a clue about fucking any history of Arsenal Football Club. Hence why he's put this up. He says unprecedented injuries, but when we won the league in 2001, we didn't have Robert Pires, Dennis Bergkamp, Thierry Henry, maybe not even Patrick Vieira for that game at Old Trafford, where we won it away, by the way. But unprecedented injuries, though. Unprecedented injuries.
Yeah.
The geezer ain't got a fucking clue. He's sharing this that contradicts his own arguments. What spastic?
I wouldn't waste my breath on them. I sussed him out the very first time I saw him on Dan Potts' channel, and how he respected Kenny Ken over season tickets really pissed me off. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, I
remember that. I was on that stream.
Yeah. I mean, why Dan Potts and Lee Gunner keep inviting him back on, I've got no idea. Because if I had a YouTube channel, I'd fucking ban him. I'm up for argument and debate, but I'm not going to have some total dickhead come online just to abuse social media and take advantage of my YouTube channel to expose himself.
Yeah, no, I used to always say when I was about to slag on my channel, he seems like a nice guy, but that's because I hadn't really seen much of him, and now I don't anymore because he's not a nice guy. Like you said, the way he cuts off people like DJB, cuts off Matty, cuts off anyone. He's ignorant, he's rude, he gets his point, shouts his point, and then he smirks while the other person's answering. You know what I mean? You get punched for that back in my day, man. You get weighed in for saying something like that and then smirking in someone's face. You know what I mean? So
in my day, you'd end up in the hospital.
Yeah, you don't smirk in someone's face.
I was just gonna say, I'm not being funny. Like my local boozer ain't the roughest of boozers, but I tell you, if he was to come in, start winding people up with football shit, and then start laughing at your face, I'm telling you, he'd be leaving.
He'd be weighed in, man.
He would be leaving hurt. It's just like that's not because my boozer's the hardest boozer on the fucking planet. He would just be absolutely filled in. He wouldn't make it out there without.
It wouldn't have to be the hardest
bleeding
boozer.
or bruising. He wouldn't make it out there. But he wouldn't do that in there because I bet you he's a nicey little bitch who's just an agreeable little wank stain. If he came, if a gal was a gal in my boozer and tried coming up to someone like me, it'd be filled in. It'd be absolutely put on his fucking backside. It's as simple as that. It just
in any walk of life, Aaron.
Yeah.
If you're rude like that to your elders, or you're just rude like he is. Remember, he came into the Dan Potts one. Wow, what a load of bullshit! He opens with, you know what I mean? If someone walked up to the street and said that, and then smirked in your face, come on, man, not having it. And he knows nothing about football to make it worse.
We DJ Crane. I just want to get these two because they've come in. I need to get them just quickly. Yeah, DJ Crane is put. They don't want to see him sacked, which is an absolute fact. They want to see his sack. Squirrel Gooners only after the nuts. I had to get that in, DJ Crane, because you funny fucker, man. You do make me laugh, man. Big up to you, my friend. You're always in everyone's chat. You're always supporting, man, and you're always funny as fuck, man. I find these things like this hilarious. I don't know what everyone else's like humor's like. I always quite find little, don't want to see him sack. They want to see a sack. They do, mate. Squirrel. Eek, 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 eek. They're only after the fucking chestnuts, mate. Honestly, they only are. Big up to you, man. These weird motherfuckers, aren't they, brother? Weird motherfuckers. DJ Crane, always love my friend, and they're ever so generous. Sorry. I'm really sorry. They're ever so generous. My superstar from New York, Madupe. I'm really sorry for being able to speak properly. Right, Lawrence, and this one's aimed at you, my guy Lawrence. I believe I haven't read it out yet, so we'll read it together. I keep thinking he must be mightily ashamed, no? How can he keep a straight face and say the things that come out of his mouth? And any sane person would walk away. No shame at all. It really, 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 really double, treble, quadruple blows her wonderful mind. What do you reckon? What do you reckon on that?
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, if that's how he, I mean, I said I've never met him. I've never met the bloke, but if he acts in real life as he does on social media, right, then honestly amazed he's not in a hospital somewhere, because that is just total arrogance, right? And I've met a British version of him on another stream. I did a stream with Views on Sport a couple of weeks ago. Guy's name was James, and he was exactly the same. I mean, I could have blinked my eyes and opened them up, and I could swear I was speaking to a British version of Igal, because he had that same bum fluff on his face that Igal has. He was also wearing a baseball cap, and he kept shouting over me and Views on Sport when we spoke. And his comment that really got me going was when he said that the Cronkies were the best American owners in English football. And you can ask Views on Sport about that as well. It totally blew my mind. This prick. He does a channel called the Football Banter Locker Room, or the something. I think it's the Football Banter Locker Room, right? And all he does, he yells over people. He calls people bro. That really pisses me off, because it's so condescending. He tells us he's 36 years old, but he acts like a 12-year-old brat, you know. And him and a girl should get married, I'll tell you, because they'd be perfect for one another.
Yeah, well, there you go. Madupe, my sweetheart. You asked what Lawrence thought, and I think he's giving you there. Pause. Yeah, now fair dues, man. I don't really blame you. And I think there has to be a degree of there. Let me actually rephrase this and restart this. There would be, if you wasn't earning anything, there would be a degree of shame where you're just like, I'm doing this for nothing. But the geezer, the fridge freezer, has got 30,000 plus subscribers, so he's earning from it. So the shame then becomes non-existent because it's all about the coin. I guarantee you, any money, if a gal didn't earn a penny from anything forever, I bet you any money his Arsenal beliefs, pardon me, would change. I bet you any money, if money was if appearing on big shows wasn't a factor, if money wasn't a factor, I'd put my life on it that his Arsenal thing would change and all. His opinion would change.
Aaron, sorry, Lawrence, go on.
Yeah, sorry. Do you see that when he comes online? Do you see that Arsenal flag behind him? It looks like that fucking shower curtain that hung from the stadium at the PSG game, because it's always hanging off.
It fucking does, doesn't it?
You see, the thing is, guys, if he was to just suddenly turn around and go, do you know what? If he was to put up a short saying, do you know what, Arteta out, he'd lose about 15,000 subscribers overnight. They go, I believed in you. So he'll never do it. He probably hopes he gets sacked, so then he doesn't have to make that decision. He probably hopes he gets sacked, so he doesn't have to make that decision. And that's the thing with him, is that he's just playing a character, and he's just playing up to that character. But as Lauren said, you see right through him straight away. Whenever he just opens his mouth about Arsenal, and you see right through him straight away. And if he had the same view as us, this is another thing, Aaron, and you kind of touched on it there. If you said that he wouldn't, if he changed his mind, and you mentioned the big channels, if he was with us, he wouldn't get on them, because he knows nothing about football. Is he going to get on ahead of you or me or Normski or you know what I mean? Because he knows absolutely nothing. So he would just go right to the bottom of the line if he was on our side. Because to people on our side, there's enough of us doing these channels to fill a panel, but there's only a few top gooners that come on, and he's one of them. So if he was to change his tune, he wouldn't get anywhere near it because his opinion is absolute dog shit. And he knows this. He knows deep down, he knows this. So he has to keep playing a character. He's playing it. He's playing. It's like a wrestling character. He's playing the bad guy.
Yeah, with a little retarded entrance music. Do you know what I mean? When he comes on the screen, that's what it is. Yeah. He is,
like
mate.
Mankind.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, mate. Yeah. Let's say Abhijit, big up to you, bruv. People like a gal don't get what it means to be an Arsenal fan. Of course, he don't care, bruv. He don't care. Yeah, and you're 100% right, man. That's big ups to you, man. In fact, I wouldn't even give it out a time of day. I don't even know why to support Arsenal. He don't support Arsenal, mate. Honestly, properly, not before 2002 anyway. The geezer ain't got a clue. And there was another message from Abhijit somewhere saying something about. I might have missed that. Here we go. Big up to you, Abhijit. A gal said he's seen 89. Nah.
That's absolute nonsense.
He ain't seen 89. He ain't seen shit, man. Geezer ain't seen shit.
Was even born?
He don't know fans. Big up, Colin. Big up, Kurt.
Aaron.
Go on.
I keep telling people, right, if I had to ask a gal a question, right, to prove he was a gooner, I said, a gal, I've been following this club since 1968. There have been 8 managers in charge in that time frame. Name me all 8. I bet you he couldn't do that.
I bet you
do you know what he'd say, Lawrence?
He'd
say, 4. But that's history. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's just in the past. That's in the past. I'm here for the future. He'd find a way of not answering it.
He couldn't go past Arsene Wenger.
No, he wouldn't. He'd miss Bruce Rioch. He might even get George Graham, but he'd miss Bruce Rioch.
Maybe. But he wouldn't be able to. I don't reckon he would get Bruce. I really don't.
No, that's what I'm saying. He wouldn't get him. I think he'd go Emery, Wenger, George Graham.
Do you know what?
He'd be clueless after. He'd miss out Rioch.
If he was asked questions, ladies and gentlemen, I bet you it'd probably be something on the lines of the knowledge of this geezer. 80,000 subscribers.
Yes, we're at it.
Okay. What team did Arsene Wenger join Arsenal from?
Monaco.
No. Who was Mikel Arteta's first signing as Arsenal manager?
Cedric Suarez.
No. Who scored the winner for Arsenal v Chelsea in the 2017 FA Cup final?
Aaron Ramsey.
Name the Arsenal midfield legend that was signed from AC Milan in '95.
Petit.
No, you're having a nightmare. Arsenal have had 5 shared Arsenal have had 5 shared sponsors in their history. Name 4 of them.
JVC, Fly Emirates, JVC. Pass.
Dennis Bergkamp and Ian Wright scored a combined total of how many Arsenal goals? That's a hard one, that. 275, 305 or 335?
335.
No. Arsenal failed to defeat which 2 sides in the Premier League during 03-04 Invincible season?
United and Liverpool.
United and Portsmouth. Who scored the last goal at Highbury?
Henri.
Yes. Which Arsenal midfielder was known as the Romford Pele?
Ray Parlour.
How many Arsenal fans, what was Per Mertesacker's nickname?
BFG.
Yeah. Which Chilean international scored 80 goals for Arsenal?
Sanchez.
Tony Adams scored the 4th goal of the final home game of the 98 title-winning season against who?
Spurs.
You don't remember the Tony Adams goal?
I was 2.
Oh. Arsenal were the first team to win both the League Cup and FA Cup in the same season. Who did they beat in that final?
You repeat the question, sorry.
I've started so
He needs it. I can't hear it. He needs it.
Arsenal were the first team to win both League Cup and FA Cup in the same season. Which side did they beat in both finals? Are you
If I answer it, can I take a point off him? Yeah. Sheffield Wednesday.
Yes.
I was born in 97. I don't know half of these.
It was Everton as well.
I was born in 03.
Yeah.
And Wenger was
5.
Wenger was a Japanese
5,
team.
4.
There's Grand Passate.
4.
Nah,
they were tough. The one.
Paul.
Rocher and you're buzzing there. I sound like stuff.
Unbelievable, man.
Miguel, we asked you, can you name 4 managers in the last 40 years of Arsenal's tenure?
Like you said, 80,000 subscribers. This guy has. He's a voice of Arsenal.
Mikel. Wenger, Arteta. What are we doing here, man? These are the knowledge. 80,000 subscribers. 80,000 subscribers that dickhead's got. Gal's got 30. Mad.
Is this show called A Different Knock? Is that his show?
A different knock? Yeah. Different knock. 80,000+ subscribers. Don't even have a fucking clue. I mean, it might be Alex or some shit. I don't know. But different knock.
That prick. When he was being answered those questions, he said, "Well, I was only 2 years old," and then he says, "Oh well, I was born in '97, which was 1 year, which means he would have been actually 1 year old." And he says he was 2. So I can't even remember what year he was fucking born.
Well, how do I know who scored? How do I know who got the goals in the 5-minute final? I wasn't born. How do I know that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Mate, I'm not being funny. He got a question. 4 shirt sponsors from Arsenal. We've only had fucking 5 over a few little years. Just name 4 of them. Just name 4 of them. Fucking one of them we've got now. One of them's O2. And we shared sponsorship with Sega and Dreamcast. It's just fucking 2 for the price of 1. I mean, let alone fucking JVC. What are we doing here, man? These lot ain't got a clue. They never had a clue. They never will have a clue. I know. Yeah, but I was only 2 years old when that went in. Who knows? Stevie Bold clipping it over. Come on, man. Left peg, Tony Adams, half volley.
The thing is, at least do your.
And he says he was 2 years old when Tony Adams scored that goal, and then he says, "Oh well, I was born in '97, which was 1 year before that." So how can he be fucking 2 years old?
Yeah. It's man, big up to the Godfather as well, Jezza in the chat. Big up to you.
There we go, Jezza. Get a gal on for the quiz on Wednesday, man. Get a gal on with us for the quiz on Wednesday.
Yeah,
come on.
I'm looking forward to
that. Would be fucking comical, man. Yeah. See how that goes.
Yeah,
there's no way he'd come on.
Oh, wouldn't he? Do you know what I mean? Just writing them down,
He'd
cheating.
Shit himself at the thought. He would not come near us. He wouldn't come near us. He'd be busy that day, trust me.
Mate, the geezer's an absolute fucking helmet, isn't he? I mean, come on, man, what are we doing here? And that's why I love using that video, and it's perfect in reference for a gal because he ain't got fucking Scooby Doo, has he? He ain't got a clue about Arsenal history. He just hasn't got a clue. He muds his own arguments. Like I said, it's just ridiculous to have a fan like that, and I don't know why sometimes he allow him to wind me up. It's just because I can't believe someone like him exists. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's what it is. It's just like I sit there and I look to myself and I think, how the fuck is this geezer like somewhat of a YouTube success, man? He's on all the big channels, but you know what? Everyone, people, they love to fucking be told that it's all gonna be okay. Do you know when you're injured in war or something like that, your legs blown off, your arms fucking shot to bits, and you're like, you're gonna be all right. You're like, well, I ain't. I'm definitely gonna fucking die. I'm definitely gonna die. But, you know what I mean? You're just told. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. That's
great
what it
analogy.
is. It's all gonna be okay, isn't it? It's all gonna be all right. That's what it is. It isn't it? Everything's gonna be okay. Thanks, James. Big up, James, man. Big up to you, my brother. Always special. People go if you like West Ham content or football content and love our normal proper absolute geezer talks. Go over and sub to E20 Zone TV for crying out loud. Who's on here last Monday? What a geezer! And if you do want to come on, let me know. I'm not the best of illness, but you know what? You cannot catch whatever the fuck I've had over the last 5 days over the internet. So you're all well and good. You're all safe, James. So if you want to invite, let me know. I'll send you the link over. Just quickly before I move on, Nomsky, I don't know if you had your say on the old legal thing, so you dropped off to the loo. So I wasn't too sure if you had your say or not, my friend. I didn't want to cut you off.
Probably where his thoughts belong, in the loo.
I hope it was the number 2. Is it number 2?
Second, isn't it? Number 2. That's where he loves, isn't it? He's got to be number 2.
Too much info. No, I just did a league gun out thing. You know what I mean? Drinking lots of water. You know what I mean? Got to leak it out somehow. You know what I mean? But no, I mean, listen, I've been on shows with him and I've asked him simple questions, and after 2 minutes, he's quit the show. You know. And the thing is, and I said to him, respectively, a gal, You don't know nothing about football. I wasn't rude or anything like that, but you're talking about league positions and whatever. And then I asked you a simple question about Chelsea, 2012. You're embarrassing yourself, yeah. You're embarrassing yourself, yeah, because at the end of the day, nobody remembers where Chelsea finished in 2012.
No.
But what I do remember is that it was their first Champions League title, yeah, and that meant that London was blue, yeah, right. So he's there battling about position, and that's what I'm saying. He's one of those new generation of fans that just want to be on every single body's channel, yeah. These big channels I'm talking about, the big channels and whatever. And to be honest, he's like a character. Barney the dinosaur, whatever. He's I mean, every time Shay plays that clip, it just makes me laugh, chuckle quietly inside. Unfortunately, as people said, he is a nice guy, but when I hear his takes on football, I'll say, bro, what's wrong with you, man? If I was back home in Jamaica, man, they'd give me 2 boxes in my head if you know them way there. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what man? Man, what are you talking about? Yeah? This is the blacks and Irish, yeah. Our parents don't muck about, right? 2 backhand in our head, yeah. That's what Egal is, 2 backhands, yeah. Get out of here! What are you talking about, man? I'm gonna go and get the liver belt. Yeah, that's what my dad used to say. He used to say to my brother, God bless his soul, rest his soul.
Brilliant.
Right, like when we used to get in trouble, say, Anthony, go upstairs and get the liver belt. Yeah. That's what I need to do. I need to go and get the leather belt for your girl, man. Say, yo, what are you talking about? Yeah, you want 2 slaps? Like, nah, man. Seriously, I can't take him seriously. I can't take him serious.
Nah,
really?
Nah. That's it's frustrating, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? When you sit there and you just think like, you have to deal with these pillocks, and there's so many of them. There are so many of them, like around. That's why I'm so glad there's so many of us guys filtering through, do you know what I mean? And whether we're upcoming, whether we're going to make it is even near nor there. Just the very fact there are, let's say, the like me, like I don't mind exactly. Like I like looking through YouTube, and you know what? A year ago, 18 months ago, dare I say, 18 months ago, you're looking through it, and you've got League on the North side, and the rest of them are fucking dross. Yeah. Now you click on YouTube. Guess what? You can go on Instagram and see some of Lawrence's funny shit. You can go on YouTube and see Normski spitting facts after facts. You can go on YouTube and see Shane spitting facts after facts. There's the likes of Carl's. You know what I mean? You got Natsers and the loads of other people. There's loads of channels like us coming through. You can see myself if that's your if that's your cup of tea. Do you know what I mean? There's good content. It's not just mugs like us spitting online. We're spitting absolute facts after facts. And I tell you what, like I'd rather listen to us than a prick like that any fucking day of the week, man. But let me move this on, yeah, because let's talk a bit of the transfer window, right? Because I've been looking and seeing what everyone else is doing. Obviously, because that's what Arsenal fans do in the transfer window. We just look to see what everyone else is doing. And Liverpool, they've lost Trent Alexander-Arnold. Fair enough. Do you know what I mean? It ain't nice for him, but he's helped win him a league this year. He's seeking pastures new. And to be fair, he's gone to Real Madrid. You've just got to accept it. It is what it is. They've instantaneously replaced him, by the way, with an excellent Jeremy Frimpong. Excellent Jeremy Frimpong, by the way. His stats are unbelievable in terms of output, in terms of goal scoring and assisting. Unbelievable. They've done that, dusted, sweet. Like that, straight away, bosh. And now it looks like they're going to get Florian Wirtz. Basically, what I'm trying to say to everyone is they are the league champions and they are moving proper. They've re-signed Virgil van Dijk. Okay, he's not going to go on for another 5 years, but he's going to go on for another 2 years. Mohamed Salah, okay, he's not going to go on for another 5 years, but he's going to go on for another 2 years. And now they could be signing one of the best number 10s, youngster number 10s. Fair enough. He needs to prove to be considered one of the best number 10s, but definitely the number 10 out there, youngster-wise or whatever that people want to sign. Everyone in their team would want a little bit of Florian Wirtz. They are coming out the traps. Florian Wirtz has said, I only want Liverpool. They've bid over 100 million euros for him. It's kind of looking like that's where he's going. Basically, what I'm trying to say is they've improved their right back, or they've replaced their right back. They've signed up the players that they need. They've got Florian Wirtz in it, very, very, very much looking like. If they get a striker, this could be curtains for the league.
Yeah.
But let's just bring this back into what Arsenal are doing. What are Arsenal doing? What the fuck are Arsenal doing? Because whilst Liverpool were replacing their only major outgoing instantaneously and getting one of the most exciting central attacking midfielders probably in the last decade, probably that there will be in the next decade, Arsenal are like, well, we don't really know whether we want to try and maybe go in for Sesko or Gyökeres. Let's have a little look at the watch. Oh, there's still 3 months left to it. Don't worry, there's still 3 months left. What are we fucking hanging on for? If champions Liverpool are moving like fucking mad and Arsenal, well, you know, we've got the here we go on Zubimendi. Who cares about fucking Zubimendi? I want a striker. I want a striker because of this. I want a striker. Goals 469. I want a fucking striker. Draws 14. I want a fucking striker. Why are we not signing a fucking striker? Why is the striker not in the door? Why have we not got one in the fucking medical room doing a test? What are we doing here? We know what striker we want. Why is he not in the fucking door? Why is he not in the fucking? Why has he not bid been made? Why has nothing been made? Why are we still linked with fucking trash Sesko? Where are we gonna be? Where are we gonna be if fucking Liverpool are making these types of signings? Jeremy Frimpong, Florian fucking Wirtz. God knows who else they're gonna get through the fucking door, by the way, because they're moving proper. What about us? Zubimendi. Oh, Zubimendi. Who gives a fuck about Zubimendi? Where's our striker? Where is he? Why has he not come through the door, Shane? Why are we not moving like mad? Because everyone's saying to us, sorry, one sec before I let you go, Bert's moving crazy. Fuck me, he's moving like fucking mad. No, he's not. No one at Arsenal are moving like mad because no one's through the fucking door. What are we doing here? Why Liverpool moving like fucking mad and they won the league? Why are Liverpool moving like mad? We're not. We're not.
Because they're a proper club. They're a proper club with ambition. They're a proper club with ambition. And let's not forget they've got Kirkes as well. Kirkes is coming in the door as well. And that's nearly done. So they signed a left back too. And there's talk that they're going after a striker. So don't be surprised if they get Gyökeres. Do not be surprised if they get Gyökeres. Because I'm, like I've said before, and I've openly said it, I think Gyökeres is waiting to see. And there's a way they could do that without spending a bucket as well. Darwin Núñez balled out over there in Portugal for Benfica. So don't be surprised if they throw him in as part of the deal, or even maybe his transfer value might even cover the fucking close to the release clause. We'll give you 20 million in Darwin Núñez. Yeah. Swarton will be happy enough to get a striker in who balled out in Portugal. I don't rate Núñez, but he did well over there. It's the rivals as well. It would piss them off. It'd be nice. So they might do that. And if Liverpool get Gyökeres, then we're all done. We may as well. They could be building a dynasty there, man. And it kills me to say that. They could be building a fucking dynasty because they're buying players at the right age. And let's not get it twisted. That Frimpong deal was done months ago. I guarantee you that was done months ago. As soon as they knew Trent was leaving, they went, okay, we're getting this guy in. And Frimpong could end up being a better signing because his output going forward, as you said, is unreal. But he's a better defender than Trent as well. He's actually a better defender than him. He's young. Kirkes is the most sought after left back. They're meant to be getting him. And the most sought after attacking midfielder, they're meant to be getting him. We're getting a scrub from Sociedad, who Madrid were supposedly looking at. I never believed that for a second. We're getting a scrub for Sociedad, a mid-table team, to go into a midfield that's already sideways passing. He's going to add even more sideways passing. And we're getting rid of Partey because Arteta clearly wants a midfielder that will take it off to defenders and not turn and run forward the way Partey does, but turn and just lay it off to the side. So it'll even sideways pass even more. We're cooked next season, no matter who we get. No matter who we get, we're doing if he's in charge. But Liverpool are moving like a real team, like a championship winning team. Madrid, injuries to the back line, aging back line. They signed 3 defenders already. Boom, 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 done. A right back, a centre back, a left back, all signed. Dotted line, done, they're in. Liverpool doing the same, bang. City needed players in January, signed. And City are going to move too. And what if Newcastle signed a couple of world-class players? They already have a better first 11 than us. Imagine they get a good centre back and a decent right back. We're done. You know what I mean? We're done. They have a great right back in Livramento, but if they can get back up, because Trippier is aging, they could get a full back. They could even go without getting any full backs. Maybe get covered for left back even. And if they get a top centre back, we're screwed, man. We're absolutely screwed. We ain't getting anywhere near them. It'll be between Newcastle, Liverpool, and City next season for the league. And then Villa will probably hang in and around 4th. And then there's always one team like a Forest who just comes out of nowhere and challenges the Champions League. And we'll be outside of that if this man's in charge. hopefully, if it is going to crumble, Arteta won't make a fluky little early start with the first 3 games or something like that, and then he might get past Christmas. We need him to start the way he always does, terribly. And then we need Berta to just go, right, you know what, you're out. Because then the season won't be a total write-off. We can get someone in. I mean, Conte's meant to be leaving Napoli now. Why aren't we just pulling the trigger and getting him in? I presume Juventus have him lined up, but surely Juventus aren't going to offer him more than fucking 15 million or anything close to it. You know what I mean? We need to move like champions, and the first thing that we need to do that is to get rid of the manager. Because I've said it before, getting rid of Arteta isn't just about getting rid of Arteta. When a new manager comes in, we've seen it this season. The amount of teams that have won with new managers all over the world. Managers of first season, second season, mostly first season. Conte, Lisbon, Ajax nearly did. They did bottle it, but you know, everywhere you look, there's new managers winning leagues, because it's not just about getting rid of the poisonous manager. It's about a new manager coming in with new ideas. All the players that Arteta's fallen out with, clean slates all over. All the players that are being played out of position. Suddenly we have Zinchenko now is back up in midfield. We have Lewis Skelly in midfield. We have Wanyeri in midfield. We don't have Wanyeri who can't get off the bench. Zinchenko who can't play because he's a left back, and Lewis Skelly playing out of position. You have new tactics. Igal's reasoning for not getting Inzaghi in, he plays 3 at the back. That was his reasoning for not getting Inzaghi in. He plays 3 at the back. Unbelievable.
Tailor-made for this team. Tailor-made.
But listen, yeah, exactly. But he didn't see that. And you know what it was? You know what his thinking was? And he didn't say it. And I knew what he was thinking. There'd be no place for Saka. That's all he was thinking. There'd be no place for Saka. And because he supports, that's the modern thing. They go through the Instagrams and all these of these players, and they think they know them. I love Saka, and that fucking pinkest gimp, absolute clown, man. He put up some video about Saka, and he always talks so deep when he talks about the players.
Who's that?
But he was saying about Saka. You see, a man asked him, would you rather sell Saka and win the league or not sell Saka? Oh, I'd rather keep Saka. He'd rather keep a player and not win the league. This is what you're dealing with, because he knows if he says something different, he won't get to interview Saka, or he won't get to sit down with him and have a talk. My Arsenal, and then this is the problem. But look, I'm telling you now, Liverpool, if they get Wirtz, Kirkes, and a striker, and they're all at young ages as well.
They're winning.
League's gone for a few years.
Can I just jump in before you jump in there, Norms? Can I just say, man, we've got 150 in the building, man. Big up to every single one of you, man. I didn't know how this would be received, considering I haven't really streamed to the last 5 days, and I sound like fucking shit. But man, 150 of you, world class, man. All the guys' links and Lawrence's Instagram are pinned in the chat. So make sure you are following every single one of them, yeah? Make sure you're following Jamie Phillips' football chat as a Liverpool fan. And as you probably didn't hear the start of it, we've always, we're football fans here. We've shared the love for what's going down at Liverpool. And of course, James as well is saying it's a good point that I wanted to bring us on. And everyone in the chat as well, world class, by the way. But what about when City starts spending? Great question. It's not just Liverpool. That could be edging on with their signings, and they're looking like they are really, really, really there and ready to go. What about Manchester City? Let's not forget about the team that's won 4 in a row, treble winners, Centurions. They ain't gonna be back. They ain't gonna be they ain't gonna be lingering around nothingness. They ain't gonna be trophyless. This is the first time Manchester City have been trophyless since was it 16-17 when Pep Guardiola took over. They finished 3rd, and then they won everything. This is the only other season. This season and the first season under Pep. They're going to be spending money. What till City starts spending? E20 Zone James is saying, go and sub to him. They will be spending. What about us? We're going to be sitting there twiddling our fingers like that, going, oh, who shall we sign? Victor or Benjamin? I don't really know. And then Chelsea are just going to go wallop. They'll get it right eventually. Chelsea have been crap. Let's get it right. Big up to any Chelsea fans in the building, but Chelsea fans have been shit. Chelsea have been shit, sorry. Apologies to the fans. Chelsea have been shit, but they will eventually get it right. They'll eventually get it right. They will spend their way to it. We've seen it. They will spend their way to it. Let's get that absolutely right. Manchester United, I don't really know. But Newcastle, they will get it right. I wouldn't sit on Newcastle, maybe not for winning the league, but I mean, seriously doing some damage in the league next year. I don't think they'll win the league next year, but it wouldn't surprise me if they finish third. They're going to spend some serious dough. It's just going to be another season where Arsenal just sat there thinking, oh, yeah, probably should have had a better summer. That's what it just makes me fucking cringe and wince to the fact that I just can see this. I can see it. I can foresee it. Listen, I'm not the emperor. Do you know what I mean? Sat there on the old, you know what I mean? Sat there and going, yeah, I've foreseen it, young Skywalker. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sat there like that. That's for Jamie Phillips in the football chat. I went on his chat. I was in his chat. And he had a Star Wars reference, and I just had to get one back while he was in there. But what the point I'm saying is we're going to be stuck here, aren't we? We could be real left for dead. If we have another summer like the fucking Calafiori and the Mikel Merino and the Norbert Neto and the fucking Raheem Sterling, we will be going that way fast. That way fucking fast. I mean, that way. Astronomically quick. Normski, well, we're not. Come on, man. We need to get this shit in. We need to get it right, no?
I need to know who's holding up the process. I really need to know what's going on up there because, as I said, 1st of June, yeah, there's that little 10-day period where clubs can sign whatever. I think that's for the ones in playing in the Club World Cup. I need to see when that window opens, yeah, man is holding up a shirt, yeah. Because we can sit here and listen to all the rumours, and then what we're going to hear all summer is this playoff against Gyökeres and against what's his name, Zesco, and it's going to be Berta against Arteta, and that's going to be the pantomime, yeah. That's going to be the pantomime. We're going to sit there and say, who's getting him? Is it him? Is it him? But I don't want to hear the pantomime. Liverpool didn't have pantomime. They knew they were losing Trent, and they sorted out that deal. Bang! I'm looking at Frimpong stats, man. They're ridiculous. Yeah, I'm looking at his stats. They are absolutely ridiculous.
Insane.
They get this man. I was looking at his stats as well, man. I mean, this guy. I'm sorry, Odegaard cannot tie or touch this guy.
Not
he's
even.
He's younger than that Odegaard, man. And I've seen some numbers like I'm thinking they get him, and if they get Gyökeres, man, listen, for the next couple of years, yeah, Liverpool are dominating. Yeah, I don't care what anybody says. And listen, you got Salah, who has got what 47 GA. That's just in the Premier League. Scored his 29th goal yesterday. Mad, he's a winger.
Yeah.
Look what Slot is doing with him. 29 goals, man. That's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. I don't know who's holding up the process. I really don't know who's holding up the process, but we need to move, guys. We need to move because it's going to get serious. As you said, Newcastle, they're going to spend. Yeah. You got to remember that they haven't been able to spend because of FFP. Now they're going to be able to spend. Yeah. Man City will go again and spend. Chelsea, we know, spend anyway, right? And we could be, as Shane keeps saying and alluding to, that we could finish out the top four.
Yeah,
top four.
I reckon it's a possibility, Norms.
Yeah, no.
I don't see why we wouldn't. We need to have a proper summer. It has to be a proper summer.
I need to know if we got a proper plan. Is there a proper plan? Because, as I said, we're linked with Tom, Dick, and Harriet. Yeah, but I ain't seen any real concrete evidence of this. You know what I mean? You know, and fans are getting excited about Gyökeres. Yeah, you know, you got certain channels saying it's a done deal. Done deal what? It's just for clicks. Yeah, as I said, you know, football rumors, and until somebody says bomber or, you know, here we go, and I'll see it, then I'll believe it. But at the moment, we ain't done nothing. We ain't done nothing, and we got a whole heap of players to get rid of as well. Yeah, where we got to get rid of a load of players. So that's another thing. That's another thing. So listen, a lot of work is going to be, you know, Bert has got on his hands, and he needs to move quick now. You know what I mean? He's not in this for a game now. We need to be serious now. You know what I mean? Because we're that close. Yeah, he keeps doing this. We're that close,
guys.
Yeah,
close guys.
Those guys. Yeah, I get goosebumps, guys. Yeah, I'm waiting for the season. Boost goosebumps. Yeah, goosebumps. That's just for the fans. Yeah, out there. Oh, he's getting goosebumps. That's another trophy. Listen, man, I'm tired, man. I'm tired. And I'm telling you now, bro, if we get Sesko, well, you know what? Maybe it's the way to get Arteta out. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Listen, just quickly before I bring my man Lawrence in, we got my geezer, Gianni, yeah?
Legend.
Proper fan, proper Napoli geezer, proper fridge freezer, proper fan, knows what he's talking about. Oh, by the way, Gianni's a champion. Not with Arsenal because he supports Arsenal, but guess what? Gianni supports Napoli. He's a fucking champion. Gianni's a winner. And Gianni's saying Italian teams will be spending as well. Not just for English, not just English, sorry. Napoli has 150 to 200 mil to spend for Allegri. Arsenal need to get busy. Facts. Do you know what, though? You know this. You knew this, and thank you very much for the super chat as well. You knew this, Gianni, before you write it. Arsenal need to get busy. But guess what? They're not being busy enough at the minute, are they? Or they're doing deals behind closed doors. We don't see all the hard work that gets put in. All right, well, that's all well and good. But why are we watching all the hard work that come to fruition from all our rival clubs then, isn't it, Gianni, isn't it? And we know this, bruv, isn't it, bruv? Come on. It's frustrating, Gianni, isn't it? You're absolutely right, 100%. Arsenal need to get busy. They need to fucking pull the finger out their arsehole, Gianni, bruv. 100%. They need to start acting like proper team. You know this. You're a team of winners. You're a mentality fucking monster as a fan, Gianni. You know this, bruv. Arsenal was sat there around going, oh, I don't really know who we want this summer. Why is everyone else doing stuff then? Why are we seeing Liverpool making fucking waves? Why are we seeing Liverpool getting their business done early? Why are we seeing Liverpool sign Verts nearly? Why are we seeing them sign, what's it, the left back that Shane was saying? It's gone out my head now. Jeremy Frimpong.
Kirkus.
What? Kirkus. Exactly right. Why are their team getting better? Do you think that's where Liverpool's going to stop? No. Because guess what? Liverpool already at the top. Liverpool already number one. And guess what? They want to stay number one. What do Arsenal want to do? Oh, we'll just maybe sign one of the strikers because the fans will be happy that we've signed a striker. Nah. Gianni, come on, man. I wish we moved like fucking Napoli and some of the Italians. I wish we had. What do I always say to you, Gianni? Bring over some of your Napoli fans, man. Please come to England. Bring over everyone from Napoli. I'll pay for all your Arsenal shirts and we'll fucking tear the Emirates down. Come on, man. We need to make a fucking proper protest. Bring them all over. Maybe not the official Arsenal shirts. I'll just get red ones printed. I ain't got that much money. Come on, Gianni. But yeah, man, big up super chat as all. Come on, man. What we saying here? Lawrence, what's you saying about this transfer market, man? Why is everyone else?
Well,
It seems like why the champions moving like mad, but yet we're moving like fucking shit.
yeah, well, it's just typical Arsenal. Just like Nomsky said, this summer there's going to be 2 transfer windows, right? Because of the Club World Cup. Do you honestly think we're going to be involved? No. All we're going to be doing is selling more of this fucking shit merchandise. Asking fans to pay 120 quid for next season's men's shirt and 146 quid for women's Champions League shirt. I mean, seriously, it's just unbelievable. And I've been reading online that we could be going in for Vlahovic again because Gyökeres has said that he wants to stay in Portugal. And I'm not too keen on the other bloke that's we're being linked up with, Sesko, either, because it's going to be another experiment with him, isn't it? But it's, I mean, I know what's going to happen. I keep telling people say, well, Arsenal are going to go in. I said, no, they're not. It's going to be rinse and repeat. We're going to sit around on our asses waiting while every other club signs up every Tom, Dick and Harry out there, because it's not going to be just Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea and Newcastle are going to strengthen. It's going to be the likes of Aston Villa, Tottenham even, all the clubs that finished like in 7th, 8th, 9th. They're all going to strengthen themselves, right? What are we going to be doing? We're going to be sitting on our asses. We'll struggle to get 2 signings over the line until deadline day like last year. Both of them are are going to be signings that we don't fucking need. If we want, we're not going to bring in another striker. It's going to be rinse and repeat. It's going to be the same thing on the pitch. Going to get off to a dodgy start, and I'm hoping that Arteta gets sacked in September, October, because that's what we need. People say it's going to happen in Christmas if we're struggling, right? Well, I hope it's September, October time, because the quicker we get this clown out of our club, the better it will be for the rest of us, and we can get someone in who knows what the fuck they're doing.
Facts.
Totally agree.
Facts. Gianni's come back, yeah, and there's a lot I agree with this as well. Big up to you, my brother. The problem with Arsenal is because they're all or nothing, and I know where you're going with this, and he's saying they can't look at other players for less so they can build a squad. Let me jump in just quickly there. I will finish the rest of it, but let me jump in there. The perfect example of what you're talking about there is the likes of an Ivan Toney. Why on earth did we not sign that man? If we'd have signed that man at this stage last season, maybe, I'm not saying, we were far behind, but we'd have maybe competed a little bit higher this year in competitions. We probably would have at least not got humiliated against Newcastle over 2 legs. We probably at least would have gone through against Manchester United because Havertz wouldn't have been there to miss all them fucking chances. Odegaard probably wouldn't have took the penalty. Do you know what I'm saying? We would have probably competed a little bit better with Liverpool. If it had been there 2 years ago, we probably would have won the league. We probably would have had a league championship. If we'd have had Toney for the last 2 years, we would have probably had a league title to our name. I'm certain of that. I really am certain. If you had a Toney into that team last season, not season just gone, the season before, of course, we would have won the league. I reckon so. I'll argue that, and I'm happy to argue that. If anyone wants to come and have a debate about it, I'm more than happy to have a debate about it. You add to that 91 goals, you probably put at least 105 into that team if you had Toney in there. You can't just add 20 plus goals to that because other players would have scored the goals that he'd have scored, but he'd have scored them extra goals that turned them 1 or 2 draws into victories. And all we would have needed was one more win, by the way, in that league title because we had superior goal difference to Manchester City. So we'd have only need to have turned 1 draw into a win or 2 losses into a draw. That's all we would have needed. That's all we would have needed. And we needed a goal scorer. That's something extra. So, yeah, I do totally agree with you in that. He chose to sign no one, though, didn't he, Gianni? Didn't he world-class chat? Didn't he first-class panel? That's what he chose to do. He chose to do no one. Now, we ain't got the right player profile. All but we do really like Isak. Okay, well, why is he the right player profile now and he weren't 2 years ago when he was 70 fucking million quid, not 170, 150, whatever you call it. You know what I'm saying. So what is it then? So is it that you can't identify a player? Oh, no, we don't want him. He's not the right player profile. So who are you waiting for then? So if Isak ain't your right profile player, then who is? Who is? Benjamin Sesko, 21 years old, scored 12, 13 fucking league goals. Yeah, that does sound like an Arteta player. That does sound like an Arteta signing. Because guess what? It ain't anywhere fucking near good enough for this football club to take it forward. Fucking not. It's not. Scoring 13, 14 league goals is what Havertz is doing. Havertz is shit. Havertz has not won us the league title in the last 2 years. Oh, but he was injured this year. Wasn't injured at the start of the season when he was missing left, right, and fucking centre against fucking Newcastle, was he? No. Well, look at the first leg. First leg, pathetic, embarrassing. Manchester United, pathetic, embarrassing. Missing pathetic, embarrassing shot time and time
against
and time.
City.
Fucking game after fucking game and game. I was at that game. That was a crucial thing, and I've said this a million times. That was a 2-0. We could have was 1-0 up, and he could have gone 2-0, and he fucking pissed it away at the Emirates. Pissed it away. That's the crucial one. All right, we won 5-1. Who also gives a fuck, by the way, because it don't make no difference. Oh, but we won the 5-1 City Cup. We showed them. Yeah, when City were beating us 5-1, they were winning league titles, you fucking twats. They were winning league titles. What have we won? Nada. 0. Fuck all. Nothing. Niente. Yet again. For how many? Oh no. 2, 3, 4. Fucking 5 years again. 5 años again for the fucking Spanish wankers in the chat. Big up to you. 5 años. That's how many times you ain't won the league in. It's frustrating. So would have Ivan Toney have won it? yes, he probably would have won us a league. But like what you're saying, Gianni, big up to you for saying it. He's just not Hollywood enough. Oh, but he's also got a personality. That's why he binned off. The only reason he's still in a fucking job, and his name's Bamiyang, because he won him the FA Cup, and that's the only reason he's in the job. He's got a personality, and that's why he binned him off. Couldn't handle it. Why? Because he's not a fucking man manager. He's not a man manager. He's not good at man managing in-game tactics. He's not good at tactics in general because he hasn't won anything with his fucking tactics. He's not a good manager. He's not the first team coach. He's the first team manager, and he can't fucking manage anything. Probably can't even manage his way out of a fucking wet paper bag, the spastic. He's ridiculous. He's horrendous, and he needs to go right now. I wouldn't give him this summer, but guess what? We're all in for more pain, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. Because guess what? We're all stuck with him once more. And you go on to finish. Loads of players to look at. Absolutely. We just don't fucking look at them, my friend. The fans just want Hollywood signings. We want any signing as long as it's up top. Yep. We want anything. It's not even just that. We've not had nothing. We've not had a good signing or a Hollywood signing. We've had nothing. Like forwards. Oh, yeah, but Arsenal have already signed 2 forwards. They signed Gabriel Jesus. Not a fucking forward. Oh, yeah, they signed Havertz. Came out straight after he signed him and said he's a midfielder. Oh, but what about Marquinhos? Oh, yeah, Marquinhos left on a free, by the way. Did anyone pay us £3.5 million for him? Nah. They just signed him for free. Unlike us, we're spastics that keep good relations with a club we've not even gone back to yet. Paid 3.5 million. This is what we're dealing with at Arsenal Football Club, and people wonder why we get irate, pissed off, and upset. Because look at the fucking level of Normanness, the helmetness, the spasticness. It's retarded. They're like, what are we doing here? Come on, someone help me out. So I'm going to start.
No, listen, and even with the Havertz signing,
I'm feeling myself.
Edu wanted Kudus, so we got Havertz instead. And then with the Marquinhos signing, Cavaschelli was available. We took Marquinhos instead.
The Vieira signing. We could have got Tielemans on the free transfer.
Tielemans on a free,
Like, no, this clown wanted to spend 40 million on Vieira.
Yeah. Instead of a free transfer, who had played in England, knew the game, had won a cup, wouldn't have need time to acclimatise, wanted to come. You're not bringing him over. No. I'll bring over this slight 5-foot-nothing guy who might get knocked around. I'll play him once or twice and then piss him off again on a free. Well, on loan. But and to go with what Gianni's saying about that Arsenal only want the Hollywood signings, and Napoli, who he supports, is a perfect example. And Lee has pointed this out. If our board had turned around last summer and said we're going to get Lukaku, McTominay, and fucking thingamajig in midfield, the other Scottish side of midfield, and Billing. The top Gooners would have been Billy Gilmore. The top Gooners would have been up in arms. They would have been up in arms with that. We don't want these scrubs. We don't want these guys. They won a league and they balled out. And McTominay got Player of the Year, man. Not just Napoli Player of the Year, Italian Player of the Year. He went over there. He's being treated like a god over there now because he is a manager who knows how to use players in the right position. He knows how to go, right, McTominay, I'm going to play you here. You like to make such and such a run. Okay, Gilmore, when you get it, you pass it in this way to him. He likes it that way. Okay, McTominay, when you get it now, Lukaku makes this run, so you make sure that you do that. And then I'll let you play with a bit of freedom as well. Not on the sideline, do this, do that, pass it now, give it back, do this. Oh, Wanyeri, you're too risky. You try and beat players. The last time you tried to beat 3 players, you lost it on the 3rd one. Yeah, but what about the times when I took a touch, beat a player and slammed it in the top corner? No. What about the time when you lost the ball though? Percentages, guys, small margins, guys. We're this close, guys. We're miles and miles away, Arteta, and we're falling fucking quickly, man. We are falling quickly. We're talking about all the signings we need. Let's not remember that Timber is going to have to come back next season from another surgery. So he's going to take a while to get bed back in. Tommy Asu's never coming back. Let's just face facts. If he plays the full 90 minutes again in his career, I'll be stunned. Ben White's going to be in and out of the team, injured. We're going to have Odegaard. Apparently he needs an operation as well. So we'll see about that. He's been getting painkiller injections. Havertz is still coming back from his tear. Not that he's any good. He's shite anyway. Saka's looked 60% since he's come back. Saka doesn't look right. Will he ever be right? I don't know. So even with all the signings we need, all the players that are leaving, will Partey stay? If he does stay now, it's only for money because he wanted to leave merely because Arteta didn't want him. Bert has gone to him now and said, no, look, I want you to stay. And I'm pretty sure Partey's going, well, he doesn't want me. So why would I stay? Why would you stay for a manager who really didn't want you? Was letting your contract run down. So we're in a lot bigger trouble than people like to think. But the top gooners say that if the board get Arteta his striker, then all that goes away. All the things I mentioned goes away if the board get Arteta his striker. None of those problems exist. You'd swear they don't, because none of the pundits seem to talk about it. Why aren't the pundits talking about the injuries? Why aren't the pundits talking about the 101-year record that he broke with a player on his form? Why aren't they mentioning these things? Why aren't they mentioning all the hamstring injuries? Why aren't they mentioning the red cards, and not in a way that makes us look like victims? Why aren't they saying, why can't Arteta control his players? Why can't they still win when they go down to 10 men? Liverpool came back on the last game of the season with 10 men when the game meant nothing. How they manage that? Why can't we get over the line? Why is everything an excuse? No, but and Arteta had the gall to say, "Oh yeah, well, if you don't win the league, you want to be best of the rest." Do you, man? How insulting is that for a team like Arsenal? How insulting is that for a team like Arsenal? I had someone in my chat today say, "Shane, all you do is moan. Why don't you support another club? Why don't you go support another club?" No, you go support another club because you have the wrong mentality for this club, pal. You have the wrong mentality if you're an Arsenal fan, if you're settling for this. So it should be you that goes supporting another club. And they're all very fond of saying, why don't you go down the lane? They're the same fans that were fucking cheering Tottenham on a year ago against City. You know what I mean? They have the gall to say that to me. Listen, pal, if you have that low standards, you should go support another team. Go support Brighton or something. You'll be happier. Be middle of the road like that. But these mutants now, they've done it so long, and the press have turned now, and the pundits, that they have actually succeeded in making our standards be middle of the road. Like we are not seen as a big club anymore. They've managed to do it. They've managed to put it now that our standards going into a season are, oh, if Arsenal put in a challenge, you know, they'd be happy there. They have a good old challenge, and that's it. They've managed to twist it so far now that they, like these guys behind me, mean nothing. They mean nothing. Merson means nothing. Tony Adams means nothing. The proud history of winning leagues, Wenger's first half of his career, all means nothing. That was all a fluke, because we're just a middle of the road team that had a bit of a good history, and now we should just accept that we are never going to win anything again. And if we do, it's a bonus. And they've managed to do it. So what we're doing here, like you said, Aaron, we might only be growing channels, and we might just be people on panels and stuff like that. But we have to keep doing what we're doing, man. We have to keep doing what we're doing. You know, I have a loyal, like, a lot of them are in the chat now that come in every Saturday or every morning to the full Irish, and they're commenting, and they're, oh yeah, thanks for spitting facts and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, well, yous are here too. You're just as important, because at least it's more people that are going out in the world and saying that this isn't okay, that this is not okay. We're Arsenal, man. We're Arsenal. We're not some middle of the road fucking team. We're not a middle of the road team. We're the third biggest team in England. We're the third biggest team in England, man. We have a proud history. Maybe not in Europe, but we have a proud history. And wanting to win as an Arsenal fan shouldn't be seen as being greedy. But they've managed to twist it so much. And listen, I'll finish on this, right? Do not be surprised, and I've said this before, that when Arteta finally goes, whether he's sacked or he walks, do not be surprised if a small pocket of those top gooners start following the team that he gets, the job that he gets next. Don't be surprised if a small pocket of them start following, if he gets a Sociedad job or whatever, that they start following that team. I'm not saying all of them, but a small pocket of them will follow him. They'll follow him wherever he goes, because they support him and not the team. And I've never seen it like that before. I've never seen it. I've seen people that I was a Wenger in, and I admit that I was kind of top gooners about it, but that guy had credit in the bank and he was winning. Yeah. This guy is an absolute fraud, man, an absolute fraud. And we have to just keep doing what we're doing. And sometimes it can feel a bit like, oh, man, you know, they keep putting up for this, putting up for my club. But that's what it is. I'm putting up for my club. They're not putting up for the club. They're putting up for the manager. And the sooner they're all wiped out, the better, man. I mean, I said it to Lee. I think that the day that Arteta goes, we should do a fucking 24-hour stream, man. We should just go for a 24-hour stream just to celebrate. You know what I mean? We can tag in and out if we want, but like, just to celebrate. But let's not leave it at that, because
even though you it clips you at 12 hours, but yeah, you could do 2 12-hour streams.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just keep going.
Annoyingly does that. Yeah, that'd be good to have an all-round 12-hour one. Listen, I'm starting to fucking flag. I'm starting to feel really bad, so I am going to end it here. Any of you boys got the last sort of thing to say before I do sort of wrap up any points?
No. Get your rest. Get your rest.
Yeah, I'll keep it.
Swell a little. I can feel it starting to work a little bit.
I'll keep it brief.
Well, mate.
I'll keep it. I'd like you to buy me the new men's shirt for next season for 120 quid, and the women's Champions League shirt for 146 quid. Because I
forgot about that. I forgot about that. If If I did leave that as part of the segment, but like I'm starting to go downwards,
mate.
so I'm going to wrap it. I'm surprised I've stayed on for
right.
as long as I have.
You've done well, you've done well, man. You've done well, bro.
But yeah, no, thanks, man. You lot have helped carry me. To be fair, I haven't felt great. But yeah, definitely time to wrap. But listen, man, there's been pretty much 150 people
Amazing.
in the building for the vast majority of it. We've still got 126. So everyone's obviously going down because they know we're leaving. But big up to every single one of you, man. It's been absolutely unbelievable. I didn't know how it was going to go down. The first one back, I haven't been streaming for about 5 days. So big up to every single one of you in the chat. You've been world class. You can find the guys' links pinned in my chat, by the way. Subscribe to them. Come on, what we're doing here. You probably all are anyway. And if you ain't, come on, man. What you've been doing? Go and follow this gentleman on Instagram. Go follow this gentleman, and you'll see him tomorrow morning at 10:30. And Normski, what have you got coming up as well, my brother?
Yeah, right, back to my Wednesday show. Going to be looking at the season, a wrap up on the season on our various clubs, and then obviously Thursday is the Bruised Banana show. I think tomorrow, Dundown has got something going on at 9:30.
I need to reply to him.
Yeah, so I might be on that, looking at the season as well and dissecting it. So yeah, that's kind of it. And then just going on through the summer, we'll be looking at transfer window, seeing who we get in. So we'll be having discussions based on that on my Wednesday shows. So that'll be that going forward. And going on other people's shows. So big up for having me on again tonight. And I'm also flagging because it's been a long day as well. So we've done well, guys. We've done well. We're that close, guys. We're that close, guys. We're that close.
That close, guys. Small margins, guys.
We've done well, man. We've done well. The chat's been amazing, man. It's been amazing.
Happy. I forgot to say, happy St. Thomas's Day. And if you don't know what happy St. Thomas's Day is, then you're not a real.
Ask a girl.
35 years ago. 35 years
36.
ago. 36, sorry.
36.
Yeah, 36 today. Yeah, 36. Yeah. Phenomenal day. Yeah. On the do you know what? Just to round this off very nicely, I haven't got it on. See the t-shirt, Arsenal shirt you're wearing, Norms. When I see that, I always of some recent-ish seasons, when I've seen a shirt that I'm just like, wow, that is absolutely fantastic. It's one of the last shirts I think I bought that. As soon as I looked at that and I was like, what player? And I always put a legend in there to commemorate them. I've got all of them. Who do you reckon's on the back of my black one? I looked at it and I was like, I love that shirt to pieces, and I want to commemorate it with a legend. Who's on the back of it?
I was going to say a legend.
The legend, yeah.
That played in that shirt, or just a legend?
Nah, not played in that shirt. A legend. I always commemorate a shirt that I love to bits, and I love that shirt. It's one of the best shirts we've produced. I always put an Arsenal legend on the back. I think you might. I think I know.
I think I know, Aaron.
Go on.
Is he a striker?
Rocastle.
It is indeed David Rocastle 7 on the back. Yeah. I've honoured that shirt. Yeah, with the late, the great David Rocastle. I loved everything that man represented. I loved his love for Arsenal Football Club. I love the fact that he was phenomenal for this football club. Just an absolute wonderful man, and of course, RIP right up there, you absolute superstar, man. But yeah, what a nice way to close, I suppose. You know what I mean? A bit of love for an Arsenal great, but likes of a gal don't even know what David Rocastle is or means or who is. Yeah, they don't know, but we all do. There's only one Rocky, mate, innit? Rocky, Rocastle. Enjoy the rest of your evening, gents. Take care, man. But we've got Super Mick Arteta. Tell me, how do I have his babies?
We are exactly what we do.
Roberto Di Matteo, mate.
Lee, Arteta out.